Yep.
Hi, Loke. You're live, and you're just sitting there.
Oh my God. Anyway, greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 51st installment of Bullsitting on TSWS Gaming. This week we cringe in unison at Sony's chickens coming to roost as the big blue aristocrat of gaming is forced to lower their proverbial knickers and bear awe. A wolf gets delayed for a few more months by one of the piggies named Crunch. And surprise, surprise, Activision is being sued by more of their employees. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I'm your host, Loke7, and joining me today is the lovely Cozy But Luga, Mr. Behind Them Sticks, Ham Solo, the liquor of all games, Mr. Matt Likes Games, and our special guest.
Let's go.
Our special,
Oh my
our
god.
special guest, Darth Praxis.
And I don't know if I could follow the liquor.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I can. I have some right here, but I mean, there you go.
There we go. Use your tongue. Do not forget to use your
Whoa!
tongue.
Sorry.
What's happening?
I don't know what's going on right now.
Not this that kind of show. It's not that
Wild.
kind of show.
It's a Friday, Cozy. I don't know. You stumbled into the wrong podcast. Anyway, before we start, Cozy, are you feeling rosy?
Absolutely.
What you been playing this past week?
Beacon Pines?
Beacon Pines. Has
Yeah.
anyone on the panel or in the chat played this? Or
It's a
even know that this
delightful
thing
little
exists?
cutesy looking game, and I expected it to be ultra cute and like, you know, cozy game because it's very cozy in the aesthetic. It's like anthropomorphic animals and stuff like that. But it's a really engaging. It's a point and click kind of, but it's like a really engaging little story. And it's a lot better than I expected story-wise. You know, it's along the lines of a lot of other, you know, never mind. I'll get into it later. Never mind.
So to answer my question, no one in the chat or on the panel has played or even knows about this game.
I know about the game, but that's
Right.
only because I was on the panel with her and Animated Evil when Animated referred to it and recommended. He actually did a review of it too.
That's
So
a cheat sheet. That
yeah,
doesn't count.
well,
Anyway,
He knows
Darth,
though.
what you been playing? What have you been playing for the past week?
Who?
Darth Praxis.
Oh,
what
wow.
have you been playing?
well,
the last
mostly Monster Hunter, just because I like trying to catch up to everything.
I don't like how you're not
Look at
introducing
me,
him
hunting
properly,
monster.
Loke. What's
You
happening
didn't. You
here?
didn't.
Hold
Look.
on.
You failed.
Hold on.
You failed. You're a
Em,
failure.
Just breathe. Just breathe.
Get it
Just
together. Get it
Matt-
together, Loke.
Matt, what you been playing? Ham, what you been? Damn. Okay, hold on. Before we even get into it,
Loke is failing us.
Brown.
Loke is
Jeremy
broken.
Brown in the
glitching.
chat. Jeremy Brown in the chat realizes his quality when he hears it. Right? He
Oh
said,
my
I
god.
thought I was late. Great intro. Very Shakespearean.
Oh my
Jeremy,
god.
I do have a couple of soliloquies in my barrel.
Don't
I will
encourage
start
that bum.
firing this Saturday. Forget these guys, all right? Just ignore these bums. They don't know, you know. Art.
You do understand
they
paid
don't know
chats
that.
are not allowed, right? I mean, super chats,
All right.
yes, but paid chats to say things.
Not
that's a
paid
different
chess.
story.
all right. Matt, what you been playing this past week?
Jeez, man. Me and Ham just played a bunch of Wolong last night. That's pretty great in co-op. Other than that, really just Atomic Heart on and off. I'm trying to beat it again. On the hardest difficulty.
Again.
Yeah. But that's about it. I'm waiting for the Outer Worlds remaster on the 7th. I'm really excited for that. But yeah, Wolong, Atomic Heart, NBA. That's about it. That's about it.
Whoa,
For
long. What a weeb. What a weeb. Anyway, Matt,
Weeb.
you
Ham,
calling me? Okay. All right. All
And
right.
what you been playing?
Man, if this crispy toe licking, Metal Gear Solid loving, Kojima
Right.
fanning dude
Go watch
doesn't
the
shut
cutscene.
his damn mouth about
Damn, that was the best you could come up with.
bruh.
Go watch a cutscene, Luke.
Yeah. Why don't you go take
Watch a,
Okay,
take a
you know
couple
what?
hours off and
that
watch a
was great.
cutscene.
yeah, kick back, grab some
Ham,
food and watch a
Ham,
cutscene.
Stop stop biting Matt's material. Come up with your own stuff.
I just
Anyway,
think that
Ham, what you been playing? So we can get into it.
As for what I've been playing, I played a little bit of Spider-Man Ultimate on my original Xbox. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those gameplays. That was nice.
I've also been playing Wolong. I don't remember if I said it already, but I beat Atomic Heart and Hogwarts Legacy this past weekend.
Yeah, you did say that.
Let's see. I played some NCAA Football 14 because I got that for free, which was insane. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I tried to play this Naruto game on PlayStation, but I just didn't like it.
you sound like he was having fun with it.
I was kind of, I guess. It wasn't great.
Yeah, yep. All right, let us
Destiny 2 Lightfall, by the way. I've been playing that.
Oh, all right. Well, okay, cool. Darth Praxis, our
Yes.
special guest for the day.
Get him, Loke.
Welcome to TSWS Gaming. No, I'm not going to get anyone. I'm just going to ask you some
That doesn't come until
milk
later.
milk toast questions that every podcast and their grandmother asks. So I'm sure you're not going to stumble on any one of these. First question is, what is the best video game of all time? No qualifiers, no standing in the middle and picking a franchise. Pick one game and tell us why.
All time. You're pushing me now, man.
All
I
time.
don't like that.
Come on, dude. That's a basic
best
question.
of
Like
all
1 +
time.
1.
I don't think about it very much. That's why I've played games for too long too. But as far as all time, well, I would probably say, just for the effect that it had on me, probably Ocarina of Time, just because of how much it affected me at my age when it came out. And that kind of aligns me where I was when it came out. I was a big Nintendo fan, and then all the way up through the PlayStation, and when the Xbox came out, I liked them, but I still kind of hung on. But I started getting more and more into every system, and my taste grew. But I would say overall, still one of the best ones that I still like to go back to occasionally. So old school.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's cool. Fair. It's one of the classics. It's one of the classics. Let's go to the chat before we move on. Jeremy Brown says Outer Worlds is a remaster in the works. Guys, I freaked out when I saw this. I'm so pissed off I don't have the time to play it. But I did get the Ultimate Edition, so I'm sure, according to what they posted on their Twitter, whoever has the Ultimate Employee or something about the Employee Edition.
I'll
gets
say,
all the stuff free.
because I went
Yeah,
on
right.
Aniba, and I just bought the key for Xbox for like $17, and then you pay $9 for the upgrade. So instead of buying the $60 remaster, I just basically got it for $25, $29.
That's awesome. All right. Someone says my mic is low. Mr. Joanna Dark, welcome, bruv. Welcome. Is my mic okay now? Also, Mr. Jerry Brown says
never
that's
okay.
a heavy question. I don't know, man. Best game of all time. Simple question. It's always Metal Gear Solid. Anyway, Darth Praxis.
Yeah, for mid.
Next question.
Middle Gear
What's
Solid.
the
Right?
Metal
whatever.
Gear. How about that? Try that one. Metal Gear.
Yeah. That's also pretty.
Just whatever Loke put on Twitter about Metal Gear the other day, we don't need to bring up, I guess, right? Right, Loke?
Right.
That was
Guys,
cool.
what is
That was a
the
cool
best-
game.
Having a
Loke.
sexy time with Metal Gear, right?
That was a fun time.
That was weird.
Darth, what is the Darth? What is
Yes,
the
sir.
best console
He likes
of
that
all
solid
time?
snake.
Loke does. Loke does like that Solid Snake.
God, would you guys just let him finish? Jesus.
My
He's like,
personal
man, this ain't
favorite,
solid.
my favorite
of all
console,
time.
my favorite console
Yeah.
of all time. It's actually right over my head, up on the shelf. It's a Dreamcast. That was my favorite.
Oh, a
Oh,
Dreamcast,
Hey,
bro.
let's go. VMU.
Wow.
VMU for the
Man.
win.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to need you to qualify this. Explain
Why
was
does he
so
need to
special?
do this, Loke?
No,
You don't
no,
do that.
you always do
whenever
this.
he,
You
whenever
always do
somebody
this.
says
Yeah.
PS2, whenever somebody says PS2, Loke
like,
gets
oh, yeah,
to-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Loke
take
gets
him
to
a
Just
kiss you
donut.
says,
your
But
okay,
then,
moving
toes.
on.
He sends you a thank you card. He
I'm
appreciates
just
your
trying to
service.
understand. That's not what it's about, Ham.
yes,
That's
it
not what
is.
it's
You
about.
always.
Right?
We
Yeah.
know this.
No,
Look.
okay.
We've
Let
seen.
me let me explain. Let me explain.
Okay.
So it's like when someone asks, for example, you watch basketball, right, Darth? Or you know basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like when someone asks who's the GOAT, right? When someone says Jordan or LeBron or even Bill Russell, most people are
Okay.
like, yeah, okay, let's keep it moving, you know? But when you ask who's the GOAT and then you're like, Larry Bird, everyone's kind of like, it's pretty great, but hold on, you know? So I'm just trying.
Oh, you're. Did you ever have a Dreamcast?
He's meddling.
He's a hater.
Oh,
I'm
hell
just
no.
curious.
No, PS1. I was on PS1. I was on PlayStation all the way to like PS3, and then I got shivved because the PS3 only had a Metal Gear Solid 4. That's all it had.
Well, I was one of those kids that had from the NES on. I had every system, and I purchased all of them. So I had them all, and so I had a varied. Like I said, I was able to play in everything. The only one I never bought was a PS3. That's the only one I never bought. And I just
Ooh.
I skipped it because of the freaking price. It was ridiculous. I was like, nope, not
Oh
buying
yeah,
it.
the price at launch was stupid. For that
No, and
The
it,
3D not Game Heroes.
nah. I played some of the games later. I had friends who had PS3s, but I was never as interested in that system.
3D
So,
Game
yeah.
Heroes. Little Big Planet 2. Mod Nation Racers.
I know.
No,
Can't
but-
That
spend $600 for Modern
Yeah,
Nation
but why-
Racers.
Man, Cozy,
Why
take
I-
a seat. It's okay.
She's having issues. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop one on you there. As far as the Dreamcast, the qualifier was
Yeah.
it was a damn good system and it was well supported by Sega. And they did a hell of a job trying to make that thing something special. And a huge number of games just launched from that system that became
It was
things
crazy
later.
the way it launched.
2K games, all those were incredible. I mean, it was like the first sports franchise to give EA any kind of run for their money, and it did. It kicked their ass for a long time.
Yeah, it put they foot straight up that ass.
Oh, it did.
It
I
was
remember
fantastic.
NBA 2K1. I was addicted to those games.
See you
I
later,
loved those games.
live. See you
Yeah,
later.
it was incredible. So yeah, I loved all that. Yeah. So yeah, there was just an incredible system, great support, great games. So there you go.
Dreamcast.
Now tell him why he's wrong,
Okay,
Lo.
okay.
No,
Tell him
no,
why he's wrong.
no.
That's what Lo
I'm not
does.
American. I'm
That's
not American.
what-
I can handle people disagreeing with
Oh,
me.
once
I'm not
again,
You're
American.
more
Texas isn't
American
part
than
of
anyone here,
America.
Lo. You're from Texas.
Oh my.
Texas is
Oh my
America's
God.
its own country, apparently.
Yeah,
From
like, he's
Actually,
more American
Texas,
than
Mozambique.
anyone.
Mozambique.
Texas.
I saw it myself. It's right in the title.
Technically.
I know.
Yes. Technically, Texas is Mexican, but let's not get into that. All right.
I mean,
so,
semantics.
all right.
You could say the same about California, but you know.
Yes.
Yeah, but-
Yes.
Exactly.
California as
Stars
well, yeah.
at night are big and bright when the electricity gets
Okay,
shut
no,
off in
I'm not-
Mozambique.
Oh. I was waiting for the
Texas. I forgot that part.
All right. All right.
That
old
works on
Texas.
so many levels, though, because it also works in Texas.
It does, especially when there's ice. Yeah, it ends everything right
Especially when
away.
it drops below 40 degrees.
Loke is just coping right now. This is
Below
great.
40, below 40 degrees, we don't even know what to do.
The whole state
what?
just stops.
You know what?
Oh, that's
Grab
terrible.
your jacket,
What,
Loke. It's
one.
cold outside.
Texas is the most famous state on the planet. All right, hate them, say whatever you want, but there's no place on the planet that doesn't know about the great state of Texas. So
Oh, I
take
thought you were going
that.
to say the great state of Mozambique. What an excellent
Mozambique's
state it is,
country.
too.
Oh, he lives in Mozambique, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, so Uso, yes, I did put a Razer sticker on the Xbox headset. I did that. All right. Last question, Darth, so we can start with the damn show and stop with blaspheming against
Certainly.
Texas.
Blasphemy.
Let's stop. All right, leave Texas alone. Darth, what is the best current console between the PS5, Xbox Series X or S, and the Nintendo Switch?
In my opinion, it's the Series X, but that's because of the options that it has too. I would say capability-wise, the PS5 and the Series X are very close. I mean, there's a lot of capabilities one has versus another, and when developers utilize them to their best ability, they both can switch between the two. One runs a little better with this game, one runs a little bit of that. Honestly, they're so close. It's almost a tie, but I prefer the Series X just because Game Pass and the capabilities that I'm able to use it with, not to mention, I don't think the PS5, I'm not sure, they don't have a developer mode where you can run emulators. So that's kind of a killer there too.
Free cloud
So,
saves.
So there's some good
too.
stuff.
Backwards
Yeah,
compatibility.
that's my favorite right now, currently.
Look
Fair
sweating.
choice.
Looks again
Above-
disheveled.
Above-
No,
He doesn't know
You're
what to
hurting
do.
Loke's feelings.
It's
Sorry.
just
this is not a problem. All right, this is not a problem.
That's the sounds of coaching
Um,
right there. This
Is
is
that-
not a problem.
If I hear him start doing this, that's rubbing that blue mic. Going,
yep.
okay, just making
He's
sure.
rubbing it vigorously. That's why it's out of the camera view.
Not that vigorously. God.
Oh,
Enjoy your mic, Luke.
Oh shit!
Uso,
A little too much.
That was deep.
I feel like we need to hire Darth to do our ads. Anyway, Uso says free cloud saves are literally goated. I hate that PlayStation charges for that. Welcome, Stanley Francois. Jeremy Brown agrees. Free cloud saves.
yeah.
Anyways, smash the like button and ring the bell because TSWS Gaming has already been to the FTC and everyone knows we are gunning for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. There's no secrets here, okay? No need to send subpoenas or lawyers or anything. Everyone knows this. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to it. FTC tells Sony it has to reveal its third-party exclusive deals. So everyone's heard this one ad nauseum. I'm going to briefly read what VG Chart says, and then we're going to get right into it. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in a newly filed order, has largely denied Sony's request to stop or limit Microsoft's subpoena, requesting it to divulge confidential documents. The FTC agreed with Microsoft's argument, which is that the case is focusing on how the Activision Blizzard acquisition could lead to IP becoming Xbox exclusive and how that could negatively impact competition. This meant it is important to understand Sony's own exclusivity deals and their effect on industry competitiveness. The FTC did grant one request by Sony, and that is to limit the date range from January 1st, 2019 to present, rather than going all the way back to January 1st, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Dark.
Well, didn't they limit it to 19? Didn't they say they weren't only going to go back 4 years?
Yes, that's why I
Okay.
said
Okay,
the
yeah,
FTC
yeah.
did grant one request,
Yeah.
which was to limit it from January 1st, 2019, instead of what Xbox requested, which was January 1st, 2012. So, Darth, first off, do you think this is cool? This is a good thing for the acquisition? And
Well,
second,
yeah.
what news are you most excited to hear when this eventually leaks? Because it's going to leak. It's going to leak. Go ahead.
I'm not excited. I mean, I already know. Anybody who's been following games for long enough knows that Sony has money hatted the living hell out of every third party they possibly can to get an advantage over any of their competitors, specifically Microsoft. But they have given money for exclusives, for timed exclusives or permanent exclusives for certain titles for a huge amount of time. Now, people will bring up the fact that back in the days of the 360, Xbox did compete in that way for quite a while, specifically even with Call of Duty. They were able to get Call of Duty and get it on theirs and advertise with them, and they were able to get some aspects of things first, but it wasn't to the order that Sony has. And then after they kind of stopped doing it, Sony just like tripled and quadrupled down all the time, and as many things as they could get, that they could get timed exclusives or special content. I mean, 2 years I had Destiny for 2 years, and I couldn't get a weapon, and even I think it was like an entire like campaign mission and a story mission I couldn't even do because it was It was a Sony exclusive. And there was actually multiple weapons. So it was like, what? And they did it because they paid them. They paid them a huge amount of money to do so. And I think that we can't see back that far is kind of disappointing because it'd be neat. It would be very illustrative, I think, to everyone to know how much money they've been spending over the years to do this. But I think even 4 years is enough time for people to see and go, oh, yeah, I can see what they're doing. Because we all know they're doing it, but we've never seen it. And there's never been really anybody coming out and saying, oh, yeah, they do it. But obviously they do. Because you get special content that you don't get on other consoles that you get on there. And the only way you can do that is with a ton of money.
So you don't think the devs did it because they were like, you know what?
Hell no, they got money. They did. Oh, we just really
So
felt
let's
good about it. It's
do it.
like the other thing is looking at gaming journalists. I'm telling you right now, I have a conspiracy theory of my own. Is I'm wondering if huge, and I'm not putting you in this category, okay, Luke, but if crazy Sony fanboys that always wanted to have some kind of positive effect said the best way they can do it is become a gaming journalist so that they could go and they could push Sony, because 90% or more of gaming journalists seem hell-bent on pushing Sony and attacking Xbox. I shit you not. You go read any articles anywhere and you're like, what is going on? Why are they always, oh my God, this is such a bad deal. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, Sony, they've never done anything wrong. It drives me crazy. So just my own personal opinion.
Right. Unbiased.
Sorry.
Very
Sorry about that.
measured,
Shots fired.
very measured delivery, that was very stoic. Cozy, tell us how you feel about Sony essentially being told to spread them.
It's been interesting for it to go back but I am curious and nosy, and actually want to see this because I want to see. I want the deets. That's all. I'm really just nosy. I want the deets. I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have a specific deal that you're interested in seeing revealed?
No, I don't think there's any games that they like. Basically, most of the deal, pretty much all the deals for games that are on PlayStation are not games I care about. You know what kind of games I like.
Cozy, I'm gonna need to stop you right there. You're telling me right now, off the top of your head, you can't think of one game that you want to find out what the hell happened. Why isn't it on Switch? Why isn't it on Xbox? Why?
You know what kind of games I like? You know what kind of games I like.
I know. I'm just saying, Cozy. I need you to. This is a yes or no question. There isn't one.
I assume there's deals, but there's no game that I'm like, man, I don't. There's no game I can think of at all.
Stop the cab, Cozy. This is the second week you're saying PlayStation has no games for you. Come on.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, and that's okay.
I mean, knowing the games Cozy likes, I kind of see that. I can see that being
like my most excited games this year are Broken Roads, which is going to be on PC, and Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. Not tax evasion. It robs a bank. Those are the games I'm most excited for.
Turnip Boy robs a bank this time. Jesus, good Lord. All right.
Right. Okay. All right. Darth, we are not teasing Luke. We are being objective.
Objective? You just pretended like I couldn't have like a particular taste in games.
See, even a cracked lens 97 thinks that you capping, Cozy. Anyway, Matt.
Yeah.
What do you think about the FTC telling Sony to spread them cheeks?
I think it's going to be. I agree with everybody here. I think it's going to be very interesting. And the specific game, not even that I'm interested in, because Stellar Blade, I don't really care about Stellar Blade. I just think all you need to really show is their deal with Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade was announced for Xbox, and then all of a sudden, Sony paid to have them kill the Xbox version. They don't own the company that made Stellar Blade.
They just paid, though.
Yeah, they just paid them to say, hey, just forget that. Forget that. I feel like that's all you would need to show, really, to be like, Sony's doing stuff behind the scenes that just aren't good.
Again, we don't know if they paid. Maybe maybe they just
Yeah,
looked at
okay. So the
platform.
Stellar Blade devs were like, you know what? We'll just extra money, forget it. Don't need it. Don't need it. We'll give it to you because we're nice. We're really nice. We don't need that extra. No. That's what they did, Lo. That's what they did, Lo.
When you put it like that, right? You make me
Yeah.
sound like an idiot. Come on.
See, well, I'm just
You're
saying.
exaggerating.
He's not pointing fingers at all.
No, you're not an idiot. You're
Oh,
just
no.
saying things. You're just saying things.
All right, fine. Ham Solo, I come to you for sage advice and measured
goodness.
approaches and breakdowns. What are your thoughts on Sony being told that they have to share this information, and which game are you most interested to find out like more details about?
The first thing that pops in the head is fatality. Yes, this is a perfect time. Get him. Get him is where I'm at with this whole thing, because it's just like finally, we're going to reveal some of the crap that you guys have been doing for freaking years. I mean, Darth had great points about Destiny. Plenty of people wonder where the heck Final Fantasy is. Hell, Final Fantasy 16 is looking super nuts right now, because they're talking about, yo, it's a 6-month exclusive, but then the leader of the project is sitting over there like, yo, we ain't even started working on the PC thing yet. So this 6-month exclusive is really probably at least a year plus of an exclusive.
At least, yeah.
It is really, in my opinion, and I know I'm getting off topic, but Square Enix is just
Go ahead.
dancing for Sony right now. They dance right now. They loosened up the bra strap and the panties and whatnot. They say, drop that cash in, dog. We got you.
Bow check.
Right now, you mean they've always been doing that? What are you talking about?
But right now it's more evident to me than ever, especially with the way that you see them getting rid of some of the Western developers. They are really on top of they're really on top of screwing things up for their own games, it seems like, because Forspoken, the writer for that, says, hey, this wasn't even my thing anymore. And then yeah, I mean, and then shutting down Babylon's Fall within a year. Like
The
Square
game
Enix.
Babylon's
Yeah, no.
Fall was a flop. Good Lord.
So like, I know I'm talking about Square Enix, but as for Sony, like, thank goodness, like, some clarity is definitely needed within this situation, because it's really it's really weird being a gamer and knowing the things that has happened within the years. And I feel Darth hit on this really well as well. It's weird being a gamer and you know all this stuff already, but then you have to see it go through the FTC and everything, and Sony is sitting there in the corner crying, while me or anybody else that's been watching gaming for a while, we're like, why is that kid over there crying? He's been picking fights and whooping people's asses for years. What are you crying for?
Why is LeBron bitching about super teams? What are you doing?
There you go.
What are you doing?
That works too. That's a good analogy.
That's
go with that.
exactly what that is. Why is Sony?
Why is
whining
why are they
about
sitting there going, "Oh my
a
God, look
super
at it, it's
team?
unfair"? Like, how is it unfair?
I mean,
How's your-
they bought fantastic developers throughout time. Sure, they didn't spend $68.7 billion on it, but let's not act like they didn't buy themselves into where they're at.
Here's a question: What do you think all the studios that are inside of Sony would sell for today?
Ooh, I don't know.
I would bet Naughty Dog would be a little bit expensive. Probably expensive.
And that's the point. The point isn't what they would have been back in the day when they got them. They got them for a deal because they got them before they were worth a ton of money. Now, because of all the developing that they've done, much like Activision themselves, they're worth a lot more. So making the statement that, oh, well, we didn't spend as much back then is a bullshit statement, because of course they didn't. They weren't worth as much. Now with the IPs that they have, they're worth a lot more. So yeah, that's why when everybody brings that, or some people bring that up, I go, that just doesn't hold water. Because if they were to sell them, they'd make a massive amount of money. So just saying.
I have to address this subplot.
Oh,
here.
Logue?
Also,
Uh-oh.
Before you continue, I
messy.
just have to tell you that I'll
What?
be right back in like 10 minutes.
Oh,
I have to
Mute
that's
your
go.
mic.
insulting.
Counting.
My daughter is at school. Gotta go grab her real quick because mom just
Ooh.
texted me and said she can't do it. So I'll
10
be back in like
minutes?
10 minutes.
10.
We'll
Okay.
see when
10
you get
minutes.
back.
Well,
Drive
she lives
safe.
right.
Don't go
I mean,
too fast.
her school's right around the corner. So yeah, I'll be
Ah.
back.
All right.
We'll see you
Okay,
soon.
we're timing you.
We are not doing that.
am.
HR, that is not what's happening. All right.
I'm sorry.
Cozy's joking. I just want to quickly address the chat. Uso getting messy in the chat. He says, Sony, we know speaker English, so sorry. So this is he's alluding to Sony trying to like run out of this situation by saying that their documents are in Japanese.
No English.
And-
Yeah, nobody will ever
and
be able to figure that out.
Oh yeah. That
Translation
you know what?
isn't a real thing.
Nope.
Yeah, nah.
Not for this.
As
it's
a
not.
PlayStation apologist, that was embarrassing to read. that was rough. I was like, guys, are you serious? Someone sat down and was like, guys, this will totally work. I promise. Let's type this up and actually submit it. And the lawyer's like, do it.
Did they actually do that?
Yes, they did it. They did it for the court to.
I thought that was a
reject-
joke. I thought somebody in chat was just screwing around. I
No.
thought it was. Oh my
for
god!
the court to reject a motion. That actually happened.
It's
It's
not
That's
in. Oh my
hilarious.
god! What do we do?
Well, I guess we can't
No,
look at those documents now.
Yeah, good thing Xbox doesn't hire anybody that speaks Japanese.
Right?
But much less the court. Good
Let's
lord.
get, let's get
thing
Kojima
everyone-
down here and decode these
Yeah.
documents.
Kojima.
Okay, leave Kojima out of this, please. Okay,
He's working on something
No
for
one-
everybody. He has
Yeah.
no vested interest. None at all.
He's the most
Yes.
unbiased party of all this.
He is working
Yeah.
for everybody, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, leave Saint Kojima out of these.
Saint
Sony shenanigans.
Kojima.
Jeremy Brown says, "Keep my boy Braun out of this." Braun about to be out them playoffs, so it's gonna be easy to keep him out of everything.
Hey,
a
they're
crack
going to the
Glenn
playoffs.
says,
They're going to lose. They stink, but they're going to the playoffs.
No.
Yeah, they
Braun's
are.
injured at
Yeah,
least
they
2 or
are.
3 weeks, and
I'll be
AD's
fine.
someone's just gonna whistle. Someone's gonna breathe in AD's direction, and he's gonna be down.
Oh,
just what
AD's
you-
a whole different thing. Yeah, AD's
You just want to
totally-
pants James on the court is all.
pretty much. So sorry. Let's not get Cozy out because Cozy's gonna leave. We keep talking like this.
No.
Eklan says,
Can't have
but
that.
this isn't that a testament supporting the developers? Something Xbox isn't doing. But that's the thing. A cracked lens. The argument here is to purchase or not to purchase. We can't argue semantics about, oh, you can only purchase small devs versus big devs. The FTC is looking at just the purchasing of devs. That's why it's important to see like what Sony is doing in terms of money hatting exclusives.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at a case, it's not like one of these console warrior situations where we're talking about these shades, right? This is a console warrior, a typical conversation. That's why I don't engage. We're talking about these shades, right? And then as soon as I see that I'm losing the argument, right? Now we're talking about the cover they come in. Because now this angle is more favorable to me. When things go to court, the arguments aren't like that. It's the focus is on the shades, and it'll stay on the shades until
Here, I'll
the
use a
end
sports reference
of
that
the
works
case.
for that really well
Right.
too. Yeah,
Go ahead.
they can't move the goalpost. You can't
Yes.
change it and move the
Yes.
goalpost and say, "Oh, it was this." No, it's actually this. No, it's actually this. No, they can't do
No.
that. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
You
The
don't-
courts
yep.
don't allow that to just happen. Some
Yeah.
might, but most don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Chivalry says that doesn't make sense. That's just proving that PS developed the studios into money makers again, bruv. Development, right, is when you get devs, set up your studio inside Sony, and then bring them up. That's development. But when you're looking at just the technical side of purchase versus development, technical, not emotional, okay? Saying that
Yeah.
you bought a studio that had 15 people, now it's 800. Oh, we developed. No. You bought a studio with 15, then you developed it.
Yeah, they made
But
it in something. And I'm not ignoring
Yeah.
that either. Yeah.
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but technically, at the root of this transaction is that you purchased the studio.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how
that
they
is true.
analyze. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and
very-
that's how the courts are looking at this.
Right.
That's exactly it. They're not looking at like you said, if they had somebody that Sony built up from the ground up and brought them. Of course, it did. Like I said, I know that they created a brand, they created products that everybody wanted, so they created value in those studios. Of course, that's why I brought it up. So that's why I
Yeah.
mentioned it. And now, like I said, it's like saying, if they sold it, they'd be able to sell it for massive amounts of money too, and especially with the pedigree behind all of them. But yeah, anyway, yeah, moving on.
Moving on.
Moving
one more
on.
Moving on now.
One more analogy that's definitely going to grate Cozy Beluga. It's like
Uh-oh.
when Kobe got drafted, if they had let him play one game for Charlotte, and then traded him to the Lakers, technically, he
Cozy's asleep.
wasn't developed by the Lakers, technically. But that's
I'm
it.
sorry.
That's the last
Man,
analogy.
Man, ugh,
I'm sorry.
ugh.
Oh,
You're
Cozy.
killing Cozy. You're killing
ugh.
Cozy.
I'm sorry.
Ah.
I'm sorry. All right, fine. Let's talk about a game. Let's talk about games.
Yeah,
Enough
Well,
about
I did want to address USO Vinny because he said
Okay,
Xbox
go
has
ahead.
started buying studios, but Sony has 20 plus years to build up their studios. That's not entirely true either,
They were
because they
bought.
haven't not bought studios in that 20 years either. They bought several studios throughout that time.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So it's saying that,
In
oh yeah,
fact-
no, they did that a long time ago, and that's that. No, they've been buying studios. They even just bought Bungie.
Yeah.
So
I-
making that statement, that's not accurate. But
I
just saying,
think-
that's no offense. I get what he's saying, but it's not
Yeah.
entirely accurate.
I think what Vinny's saying is like the fact that like PlayStation's been doing this forever because they have, and it's like Xbox only really started taking it seriously in 2018, 2019, once they got like Obsidian and Ninja Theory. Then it was like, okay, now they're taking it seriously.
The Xbox One was tanking. They were having a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
problems with the Xbox
Oh, yeah.
One, and they were trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
find ways to stop the bleeding. One of the ways is they turned around and said, "Oh my God, there's a giant pile of cash next to me. What can we do with
Yep.
that?" And they went and bought shit, and
Yep.
that's true.
They
And-
should
and
have just given us Viva Pinata.
That's
Yes,
what Cozy
Cozy.
wants.
That
That's what
would have
Cozy wants.
saved.
Don't worry,
The Xbox
Nintendo's giving you
One.
that. It's okay.
Oh, they are.
That would
They're
have
giving
saved the
it for
Xbox
fun,
One, Cozy.
but there's nothing that scratches the itch of Viva Pinata.
I'm so sorry.
I've never heard that sentence, but
What are you
non-metric-
guys talking about? That doesn't sound good.
Non-metric.
Welcome back.
Don-
We're
this is a
diagnosing low.
message directly to Xbox. Don Matrick and Phil Spencer. All you had to do was make another Viva Pinata, and the Xbox One would have been a success. That's all you guys had to do.
that would have been the flagship for the Xbox One.
With the controller and everything, yeah. Absolutely.
Make it a
Oh my
nice
God.
Connect game.
Anyway,
Let's
Ham,
pretend I didn't
before
come
we
back
move
until
on,
next topic.
the last point.
Please.
Actually, the last point.
I'll pretend. I'll
Ham,
close my eyes. Good, Luke.
Ham, the last point is a couple of our members in the chat, like indicating that it's not the same because Sony bought games bought devs 20 years ago. They bought studios. Sorry, they bought studios 20 years ago and then developed them. It's not the same as Microsoft trying to buy studios now.
And
You have
work
any
to
take
develop
on
them.
this? Yeah.
What are they doing with them? Are they they're just taking everything, or are they developing? From the sound of it, they're developing, right?
Yeah. I mean, dude, I took a massive L the other week because I was like, what about Rare? What about Rare? And then someone just chucked Sea of Thieves at me, and I was like, oh, dang.
I want somebody to list me games of
Yeah.
playground games before Xbox.
Ooh, look at
True.
him coming in salty.
Interesting that people still I guess people, nostalgic people
I'm just
still
saying.
throw around Rare. Like, oh, Rare is doing things.
Rare,
They're
Rare's
really doing
fine.
better
Rare
than
seems
they
to
Yeah.
be pretty happy. So
They're doing
They
better than
are.
they used
They're
to.
kind of
That's-
successful.
Like, Sea
No,
of
they're
Thieves.
definitely successful, dude.
Yeah, they're just a little bit successful. I
Just-
feel like.
Ham, that that was unnecessary. Asking about playground game, that was very unnecessary.
I'm just saying, like, if people want
It's
to
the
say,
point.
oh, Xbox doesn't do good with their studios, I mean, I remember a lot of people saying, oh man, what are they doing with Rare? And then people laughed at Sea of Thieves, and how many years
People
now?
still laugh at it,
Man,
and
People
it's like,
still want to laugh, but nobody wants to look at that cash coming in.
oh look, people
No.
constantly.
Em?
I actually bought Sea of Thieves like day one.
I trolled
I
you for
actually buy
that
stuff.
when it happened. When you did that, I trolled you. But okay, carry on.
You did not, because that was like when it came out. I bought it.
I said that was terrible.
It
When you
wasn't
said
terrible.
what I said that was a terrible choice.
I
That's what
bought
I
the
said.
pets and stuff. I buy cosmetics. Yeah, I'm one of those.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying I said it.
You
was
know
a
what?
terrible
Because
decision on your
Loke, you
part.
don't like fun games. It's already established because of your Metal Gear fan. You don't like fun.
No.
He
What I
likes
do
You like
neat
watching
movies.
things. Yeah, you like
Yeah.
interactive movies.
what I do is I take my L's the way I take my dubs. What I'm trying to
You
exasperate
don't?
here is that I
Oh.
definitely fell into the group of the people that think that games like Sea of Thieves and what's that game with the kid where you play as a small character with the insects? What's it
Grounded?
called in the backyard?
Grounded.
Grounded. There's a
Grounded.
lot of people that think the way I used to think, where it's not at the Game Awards, it's not
Oh,
a cinematic game. There's no graphics. There's no quality, and then I'm like, it's a flop, you know. And I used to cope by ignoring player counts and saying, oh, they don't sell no games. They just talk about player counts, guys. Accept the fact that the most industries are not what they used to be 10 years ago. Never mind 20. All right.
Mhm.
Stop with the game sales stuff. Movies, they're not worried about just the box office, guys. They take this stuff to streaming. Everything. Where there's life, there is change. It's my favorite quote. Where there's life, there's change. Sea of Thieves proves that. Fortnite. Dude, how can everyone agree, right, that Fortnite has built an empire for Tencent? But then, oh, let's just ignore the player count on Halo. What are you doing? It's the same principle, the same logic, but for these guys, cool, success. But just because it's happening on Xbox, it's a bunch of bullshit. Settle down, guys.
That's a
Coke
fact.
and see. Let's
it
move
is.
on. Let's talk about games. Enough about the acquisitions. The Wolf Among Us 2 is hit with huge release date delay. This is from Game Rant. Announcing the news in a post, Telltale Games states that the release of the Wolf Among Us 2 will be pushed to next year. The studio mentions that it's determined to tell the ongoing story of Big B and the Fabletown gang, though the process would require more time. Although a number of points attributed to the decision to delay the game, Telltale Game CEO Jamie, I'm going to murder this surname, Jamie O'Teely, says the main reason came down to avoiding crunch. While the game has been in development since 2020, the developer has been actively looking to avoid crunch since the release of the first game. Darth Praxis, what are your
Okay.
thoughts on the Wolf Among Us getting delayed?
So they're saying they delayed it because they didn't want to push their devs too hard, is what they're saying. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so
No
that's the
crunch.
report. The report. I'm kind of I'm fine with it. I don't want it to be something where developers are basically whipped to death and worked overnight constantly to get something out. Number one, you get a lot of problems that way. I had buddies who were developers who did programming, and that would yield a lot of errors. So doing that is a problem in and of itself. So I'm okay with it waiting. And this is The Wolf Among Us 2. It's a great game. I love the first one. I finished that one. That's a good game. It's enjoyable. It's fun as hell.
Yes.
And I'd love to play a sequel. But yeah, I mean, take the time to finish the game. Don't overdo it. If it takes a little extra time, it is. It's not like, no offense, it's not like a AAA title that I'm expecting everybody to just, well, we've been waiting for this for 10 years. No, it's a great game, but just, I can wait. Yeah. I'd be very interested to see it completed correctly. I'll say that.
What's that famous quote, Ham? You know it better than me. A bad game. What's this? A rush
always
game
bad.
is bad forever.
Yes.
A delayed game is
Yeah.
eventually good, but a bad game is always bad or something like
There
that.
we
Is
go.
bad
There
forever.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
Cozy, what are your thoughts on The Wolf Among Us 2 getting delayed because of crunch specifically?
It is honestly, I'm gonna say I'm not one of those people that's like super anti-crunch. Um,
Mm.
I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's horrible." Most jobs you do have some sort of crunch. They don't even always call it crunch. You know what? Working in a warehouse, it's called peak season. So that's just the nature of a lot of jobs. But if you have the opportunity not to do that to your employees, that's great. That's great. It takes a lot of stress off of them, and they can, a lot of times pull out something better.
But are you looking forward to it? Are you looking forward to the sequel, or you don't care about this game
I'll
specifically?
probably watch someone play it.
Okay,
I think
don't
my
care
favorite
that much.
Telltale game is really is like the Borderlands one.
Really, Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
It's a
I
good
thought
Because I
that
was
game.
really a big fan of Borderlands 2 and 1,
Mhm.
and I thought it expanded on that world in a very hilarious and fun way.
Tales from Borderlands was a fantastic game. Okay, Matt, what are your thoughts on The Wolf Among Us getting delayed?
I mean, I never played the game or the first one, so I don't have many thoughts on that. But I mean, if they're doing it out of, not wanting to just ruin,
Burn people out.
ruin people's lives a little bit, then I think that's great. That's smart. I don't think, I don't know. I don't think any game is worth a stupid amount of crunch. Uh, I feel like there's been a lot of examples where crunch has been pretty terrible in gaming. I think the big one I think of is whenever you watch the Vidocs for Bungie on Halo 2, where they would just like
Mhm.
sleep in the office and work like 18 hours a day, 18, 19 hours. It's like, I don't
Or
think that's
working for
healthy.
Twitter.
What's
Mhm.
that?
Or working for Twitter. I
Oh
think they
yeah.
would sleep in
Oh
doing
yeah.
something.
Oh yeah,
Good time.
that's right. But yeah,
Good time.
I don't think that's healthy. If they're doing this out of just like, hey, let's look out for our devs a little bit, then good on them.
All right, let's
We
get
can wait.
Uso. Let's get Uso out of the chat. The Last of Us 2, dude. We do not speak about travesties.
The Last of Us 2 is a
Last of
great
Us
game.
2 but it's another game that was plagued by crunch.
True, it was. Last
Yeah,
of Us
but he
2.
wrote that right under the chat where Mr. Chivalry says Tales from the Borderlands was goated. No. Last of Us 2
What
is
it
not.
sounds like, Loke,
It
is
wasn't
that
even
you're
decent.
projecting your frustration onto
Yeah.
Vinny based off of one chat being above another, and that just really got your blood boiling.
Loke doesn't like it when game developers tell stories when they're not Kojima. He does not like that. He despises that, actually. He doesn't enjoy it. He sees
He's
Neil
like,
Druckmann telling the story, and he's like, "No, that's gross.
What's
It's
this
unnatural."
story from the West? Ugh.
Yeah. He just wants Kojima. He wants Kojima producing everything. That's what he wants, ideally. But it can't happen, Loke. Unfortunately, he's a busy man.
No.
He's a
I don't
busy
want
man.
Kojima producing everything the same way I don't want fanboys to disappear. We need the crazies to remind us what crazy looks like, and we need the mid stories, the mid to bad
Of
stories
Kojima,
to remind us what greatness is, which is Kojima's work.
which is The
That's
Last
what
of
we
Us
need.
Part 2. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Am Solo, how do you feel about the Wolf Among Us 2 getting hit by a delay that's almost a year? Go ahead.
I don't feel any type of way about it. I personally don't care.
You didn't play the first one?
Nope.
All right. So, for the people that did play the first one, which is Cozy, Darth, and Matt.
I didn't play it.
Oh, okay. So then Cozy and
I didn't
Darth.
play
Please
it.
tell me you two played it. Come on.
No.
Cozy didn't play it.
Darth,
Looks like
did you
it's
play
you
it?
and Darth. It's you and Darth.
Darth, did you play the first one? Please tell me you played it. For the
I
love
did
of
play.
God.
I did play quite a bit of the first one. The second one, I didn't know. No, it didn't interest me.
Did you finish the first one?
I can't remember, man. It's been a while. You'd be like, oh no. Sorry. There's a lot of games I've gotten through and not finished, so you'd be angry at me.
I had a cute question for everyone that had played it. I was gonna ask you guys if
I
you
played it,
ripped
Loke.
that
Ask-
dude-
Yeah, ask him.
ask me-
Go and ask
ask me
him.
a
Ask
question.
away. It's not going to hurt my
Ask me a
feelings.
question.
Did you rip out the guy's arm in the bar?
Absolutely, I did that.
Oh,
I did that 100%.
monster.
I'll tell
You
you, Loke.
monster.
I would have too.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, and
as long as that's an option, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying. Like I finished the game like 3 times. The second and third time, I promised myself I'm not going to rip his arm off. I couldn't do it. I ripped his arm off 3 times, and it felt good. It felt very good. Anyway, let's move on to the lawsuit. Activision is being sued for firing employees. So this is from Game Rant as well. Activision recently announced its return to office plan. Oh no! Which has been met with resistance across the board. 2 QA testers raised concerns about the increased cost of living that would result from this decision and argued that while they could work in the office, not all of their colleagues could afford to. The 2 employees reportedly expressed themselves using explicit language, and a disciplinary meeting was arranged during which they were both fired. As a result, the CWA has filed charges against Activision based on what was used during the meeting and how the company handled the situation. Darth, do you agree with people being fired because they don't want to go back to the office?
I agree with people being fired for using insubordination and swearing at their bosses. when you do that, you open up a can of worms, dude. I mean, anybody who does that and doesn't expect to be fired is a fool. I've seen it myself. I've seen it happen more times than I can count, dude. I've been working in the industry and corporate world for 30 years. And I've seen people do it and they're fired immediately. That's not abnormal at all. You swear or you bring up your voice and you get pissed at the boss and you say something and they fire you, there's nothing you can do. You could be a union member or not, you're out. And nobody's going to back you up. Now, them backing them up, that sounds crazy. I mean, unless there's some other extenuating circumstance about forcing them to go back to work, but I don't know. I was one of those people who had to work for a hospital through all of COVID. And so I don't really have, I don't have as much sympathy for people going, I don't want to go back to work, dude. I worked right through it. I was at hospitals without masks before there were masks around people who had COVID all the time. And I had to do it. So like I said, it's if they don't want to go back to work because if they're saying it's a financial situation because they can't drive or can't afford it now, I'd be talking to them more about, hey, can you compensate us financially? Can we look at like some kind of a raise program? Can we do this? That's how you approach it. You don't get mad and yell about it. That's no way to approach it with the boss. But that's my opinion.
Okay.
I was also a shop steward for 8 years, so I helped mediate these kinds of things. So I watch people come and go that way too. So I've got a little experience in it.
Uso has got all the solutions. It says carpooling easy. Right.
There you go.
He also says this is why unions are important in gaming and why this shouldn't be overshadowed by the court. So, Darth, you said you've worked in the corporate.
I was in the union for 20 years.
Talking about gaming. Are we talking about gaming union?
Oh yeah.
Or
no, I'm talking. I was in actually. I worked for medical I worked for hospitals, and I worked for semiconductor companies for 20 plus years. So
okay, so I asked this right because we don't have unions in Mozambique, but from the little I've gleaned from unions in Europe, especially France and the US, it can get out of control very quickly to the point where the most you can do is remove said toxic person from the workplace. But in terms of payment, like they're like sorted. For them, like for in this situation, what would happen from what I've seen in other unions, what would happen is they would get sent home. They wouldn't be working for Activision anymore, but they would have their salaries paid, and they'd be like cool until they find something else, or until the unions finds them another job somewhere.
Different unions have different rules. I would say that. Here, hold on a sec. And in regards to that, from that standpoint, they can all have the key to a union, and I don't want to get too deep in this. I'll get this out quick. We'll move on. Is they have different contracts. All contracts have different negotiations. So they'll negotiate whether or not somebody gets paid if they're laid off or whatever. So there's lots of different ways that somebody could be compensated. And it all depends on how much power that union has, too. The union I work for had some power. I mean, I worked for Kaiser. I worked for Kaiser Permanente. And so I worked, that's not giving away anything, but I worked for them for a long time. And like I said, I would go and sit and mediate with them and talk to their bosses, and we would work with, trying to get a negotiation. So we would get special things. But as far as what you're talking about, disciplinary action, like I said, some unions are more lenient, some aren't. But insubordination, pretty much across the board, for every union I dealt with, and this isn't tech unions, it's a little different, they would fire you, and the union would generally back them up, and sometimes they would help the person find another place, unless the person has done something so terrible. But this wasn't terrible. This is insubordination. They'd find them another job is what they'd do. So that's pretty much what would happen. If there was insubordination, the union doesn't really back that up. They might say, hey, we'll calm them down. Let's see what we can do. But if they're not there and the person did it, the union's going to kind of go, well, that was dumb. You shouldn't have done that. I've watched that happen many times. But yeah, like I said, everybody's different, and that it's not a union. They can sue, and they can make it get in the paper, and then they can say, look what they mistreated me. And so now it's gotten a bunch of, it makes the company look bad, which the company already has issues. So they're going to use that as something to shoehorn their way to get what they want, and they may just, but who knows?
Cozy.
Yeah.
What do you think about these guys losing their jobs because returning to the
So,
office is bad?
Typically, when they say, oh, returning to the office, they give you a date so you can plan accordingly. They're not like, hey, come in on Monday. They're not, it's usually like, hey, it's like a month or two out. Like, from my experience, when every time I was like, hey, work from home is ending for this time period, come back to the office. Because I've worked in places where they did do that, where they were just like, you gotta come back to the office. And they gave you a date. And it was always like 2-ish months out. So you knew you were expected to be coming back to the office at some point. So it's also plan accordingly. And I think it was Vinny who said
Carpooling.
carpool and stuff like that. And I'm always confused because you know what? It was cheaper for me to be in the office. I stayed in the office until they literally kicked me out because it was cheaper for me to be in the office. I looked at that electric bill and I was like, I'm not doing this. And I was like, I'm just going to go to the office.
It was cheaper.
My electric bill. You don't have to pay for electric if you're not home all day.
That is a fair point. I thought about that.
Especially living in a place that gets colder, I had to pay for heat for being home. There are so many small costs. It was I had to. I lived relatively close, but if I didn't, I've lived further away from jobs where I was like, well, I'm here saving cost saving methods, so I don't have to. I've done carpooling, I've done that sort of thing with people, caught the bus and stuff like that. That saves me money. But yeah. I think if you're sending out, don't put anything in an email for your at work or any sort of team or whatever work chat that you don't want everyone to see. I've seen people get fired. I remember one time I think the person he CC'd a few distros on accident. I think because I hope it was on accident because that email he sent out was just very. Next day, he was just gone. Gone. Wasn't even in the system. I checked. I checked Active Directory. I checked Active Directory. His stuff was disabled. I was like, oof, that was quick.
Shit was erased from the Matrix, right then. Gone.
Oh,
damn.
Like the kitten.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Sucks to suck, I guess. Matt.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on these guys getting the boot? Is Activision being a prick, or was this a fair move?
Thing is, I'm kind of with Darth Praxis on this because it's are they fired for not wanting to come in, or are they fired for just being an asshole to their boss?
Being an asshole to their boss.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, it sucks, but and sometimes your boss gives you shit and you don't like it, but it's like, that's your boss, and you can't just fucking be an asshole to your boss for the most part. So it's like, I get why they're fired. I get what they're doing also because of this position that Activision is currently in. They can sue them, makes them look even worse than they already look. So it's like, I get what they're doing, but at the same time,
Because
I'm not gonna.
it gets too tricky sometimes when the company is big enough. Like I've
Yeah,
seen it, Darth. I'm sure you've seen it as well at the places you've worked. I've seen it where I'm working at a certain place, and then someone gets fired, and it was the right decision by the company, and the person takes the company to court, even if they have a high chance of losing. The company, because they don't want to be in the papers and they don't want the whole thing to drag out, and the brand suffers, regardless of whether the company is right or wrong, the brand suffers. They'd rather, and I've seen it happen countless times on my end, they'd rather just pay the person an X amount and be like, yo, here's this money, let's settle and move on. Because
yeah,
even if we win, the amount of money we have to spend with legal and the amount of damage this is going to do to the brand, it's just not worth it. So just here's the money and go.
I will say, just not naming any companies because this one would get me in trouble, is that certain companies had things happen on site because there was public property involved and people would end themselves, and the company would have the family come to them because it was on their property, and they would very quietly, very quickly settle with the family and give them whatever they wanted. That happened a lot, more than you'd like to know, more than I knew. And I was like, I didn't even hear anything in the paper, and they sure as shit didn't, because they paid those people off. I was like, wow.
They signed all the NDAs and
They
kept
did
it
not
moving.
want associating their company with that. Terrible. They're like, no, we're not even going to do that. We're just going to give them as much money, tell them we're terribly sorry, and don't talk about it, sign an NDA, like you said, and walk away.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Terrible, but I get it.
Speaking of keeping it moving, Mr. Keep It Moving, Ham Solo, what do you think about these guys getting canned by Activision?
I think they probably got fired like you'd get fired from anywhere else. But seeing how Activision is in the middle of merging with Microsoft, which is like the big bad guy on the corner, and
Oh, gal. Oh, gal.
already
Be a gal.
they already had issues with employees and stuff like that. So pretty much as everybody else kind of said on the panel, like, they're an easy target. They're an easy target for somebody that feels like they got wronged. I mean, it's kind of like, and I hate to bring this up, but it's kind of like any of those like scandals, like Bill Cosby or something like that. As soon as something's announced, there's probably more victims than there really was.
yeah.
Everyone starts raising their hand. I had an interaction with them and it was terrible. like not to discredit those people, but seeing that happened, they're gonna zoom in on Activision and be like, did y'all really do that? And we're gonna look into this way heavier than we would look into some other company because you guys have already proven to be messy.
Big
So
old
that's
law
kind of,
firm. Yeah. Big old law firms are sitting there just going, how many people did this affect? Class action lawsuit.
right, exactly. So
Gonna hit them.
So
man.
how do I feel about it personally? I mean, I don't know. I've had jobs where I've lost jobs for questionable reasons, and I was like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I mean, I made my life work out. But like, I tell you what, if you're super duper angry that they want you to return to work and you're arguing because of that, and then you think you can be super disrespectful, I'm wondering, did you ever work there from the start?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
like
Like,
were you
because
just
if you-
hired?
Paying attention.
Because if you traveled back and forth to work and then all of a sudden you're saying now you have an issue, then that's like super suspect.
Maybe
If
they
you
moved out of state or
didn't,
something.
if you didn't travel there and back to work but you got hired on to be remote, then I think you might have something. You
What was that,
might
Cozy?
Even
have.
more about to defend these guys.
There was actually people who have basically moved away after the remote
Yes.
work thing started.
Yes.
People moved away from their
That's what
areas.
happened with me.
That's what I was
happened.
gonna ask. Like, are these people like now out of state or something?
No,
And it's
no, that's,
No,
yeah,
that's
it's
not
like
about it.
that's what I'm
No.
asking. Like, because that would be I could get it, but like if you're just in the area and you just don't want to come in, it's
Well,
like,
for legal purposes, technically, you have to you have to let them know if you leave the state or something
Yeah.
like that for tax purposes and stuff like that. You can't be
Well, like, who's out
working
of the
in
state?
freaking Utah and have a job in New York and you just didn't tell anybody because
I mean,
that's fraud.
Yeah.
That's
You can't-
literally fraud.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, but I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to articulate. Right.
It's okay.
But yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. If a lot of the people that are like having this, like, oh crap, I moved far, not like someplace close, out of state. Like, I'm in Ohio, right across the road from Kentucky. I could move to Kentucky, whatever. I wouldn't, but I could. But like, imagine moving to like, working here, and like then having a job here, and then being like, I'm gonna move to like even West Virginia. It's far, enough that I'm like, oh,
Country
that's
roads, take me home. Sorry. When you said West Virginia,
beautiful state, Loke. It's a beautiful state.
it is one of the
know.
most beautiful states
It's
you'll
my
ever
home
see.
state, Loke. You
Texas.
better be nice.
He's
Not as-
jealous.
not as
I was gonna sing
Texas.
Blue
Being all
Moon
the
to
way down there in
Kentucky, buddy.
Texas. He's jealous.
Kentucky's also
Not as
very
good as
pretty.
Texas. No.
Mm,
All right.
actually,
Let's keep it moving. Before you guys start crapping on the best state in the world. Call of Duty may not run on Switch. Captain Obvious over here says
No way.
UK market regulator. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Big brain here. Big brain energy.
Not smooth. Many
so-
wrinkles. Many wrinkles.
Oh my god. So while Microsoft claims Switch can run Call of Duty games just fine, the UK's Competition and Markets Authority believes otherwise. Exputer recently reported on the CMA's latest provisional findings report, where the regulator plainly states that the Nintendo Switch may not be capable of offering certain graphical intensive multiplayer games such as COD due to its hardware limitations. The
a
CMA
10-year
believes
deal.
that the CMA believes that Activision will find it difficult to offer a user experience competitive to other contemporary consoles, and mentions that the Switch's subpar storage capacity may end up being a problem as well.
Did they ever say it was
no.
going to be hardware run or cloud?
No, they did not. They also did not state whether it's going to be just the Switch or
Why would it be a
further
10-year
or
deal for the Switch?
there we go.
Exactly.
There we
You
go.
do a 10-year deal on a system that is literally on its last year of life? Yeah. It's going to be for the next console.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an obvious
The-
one. That
the
people bringing that
writing
up
is on the wall, and I don't understand. I'm right there with you, Darth. It's just like, dude, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
Like if you pay attention to news, like everyone claims that they do, but clearly don't, you would see that this. I mean, look at the way Nintendo's kind of been moving. A lot of the time, or at least from the previous generation to this one, what was their kind of main game to introduce and also exit with? Zelda.
Zelda.
It was
Mhm.
Zelda.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
Guess what they're doing this time?
Yep.
Exiting Switch with Zelda, get all that cash, and then, people are probably going to want to double dip as soon as they go into the next generation. Because that's
Well,
what Nintendo does.
And if, let's say, the next generation does what everybody wanted it to do, because the rumors about there being a Switch Pro were accurate. Nintendo actually admitted, yes, we were developing a Switch Pro, but we just decided to turn to the OLED and release that. They admitted that. So that was actually on the docket. They were planning it. So things that they were talking about, DLSS and 4K capability using, the super sampling, deep learning super sampling, so they could run a game at like 1080p or less and upscale it to 4K. That was a plan. They were planning to do that. They had hardware that could do that. And it's not going to be substantially more powerful than the Switch, but it would have been more powerful. It could have done more. It could have been more capable. So that they had that and canceled it shows that they're still planning something. They've got something in the works, and it's 7 years in. They make a ton of money, but I think they're hitting a plateau right now. I think they're not there. I mean, they're still making money. They're still selling consoles, but it's not, the return isn't as massive as it was. And they've made a ton of money. They've got plenty to put into it. And this is just the earmarks, like you said, of Zelda being the last one of a series. It makes sense that this is leading into the next. And whether it's this year or next year, which more likely next year, in my opinion, that they're going to do that. So
they were down like, what was it, like 7% or something like that from the prior year. So I'm sure that they're looking at that and they're like, all right, it's about
That's
time.
what I read was 11%.
Let's get something moving. Yeah. We got Zelda here. Let's get the new thing, out here. I mean, whether they, I said specifically, I personally think that they're going to announce the new Nintendo console by the end of this year, into like sometime mid next year. Like, I don't feel like they're going to go any further than that to announce it, because I mean, why would they sit around too long after Zelda came out? Why would they do that? Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's gonna be the biggest game for Switch, probably ever.
Oh yeah. Well, and the Switch is going to be like the 3DS and any other console that they've had after its prime. It's still going to sell for the next few years anyway. Mm-hmm. And they'll keep supporting it for years and making profits on it. And if the next console, I mean, if they're smart, if the next console has backward compatibility, you can plug a cartridge into it and it can upscale it, it'd be amazing. But there's no guarantees for that. We're talking about Nintendo. Nintendo can do things really great one time, and then the next time you're like, what the hell happened? Well, you just, okay. So who knows? Yeah, it'd be great. Nintendo. Yeah.
I like how they named one of their consoles the new, like 3DS or something like that.
Yeah, the new 3DS.
Yeah, they put new in the console name, so it's there forever.
It's the more powerful. Yeah, it was the more powerful one.
It really was. Like, so having had both of them, it was obviously more powerful. Functionally, structurally better too. The design was improved. And then they just, I had a lot of 3DS.
We don't like 2.0. Let's just slap new on there forever.
New, super, ultra.
It was the N3DS. That's what you called it, the N3DS.
A crazy 3DS.
Remember, the 64 wasn't the N64, it was the Ultra 64 for years.
It was. They even had a different sticker that went on the front of the 64 before.
So think of this. Nintendo Entertainment System was the first, and then it was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And the replacement for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System was the Ultra 64. That's what they called it originally. So that was its its code name. Yeah.
Wow.
Way back in the day. Sorry.
Ultra 007 GoldenEye. Look at that.
And people are out here making fun of Xbox and the way they name their consoles. Matt, everyone's had a go here except for you.
Let's not joke. Xbox is pretty shit at naming consoles.
Yeah, dude.
I love Xbox, but I can't lie.
They are
360. What? Where the fuck that come from? 360. What?
And then you saw all the people online. It was like the next Xbox, the Xbox 720. It's just a picture of something with a bunch of buttons on. I'm just like, what is this? What is this?
How is it?
Their guess was as good as anybody's because the next one blew everybody's mind. One. What?
The Xbox One? What are you talking about?
You mean the first one, the OG? No. This is the new.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to 2001. Except we're not good this time.
The less we talk about,
oh my God.
Talk about this, the better. Matt, someone said in the chat. Okay, Google Post said they got Doom Eternal on Switch to work. They should be able to get COD too. So first off,
well,
Well, and
anyone
Witcher
tried
3, as a
Doom
matter of
can run
fact,
on a
too.
Doom can run
Well-
on a peanut though.
Well,
Yeah,
Witcher,
No, no, no,
Witcher,
not Doom.
Witcher
Ham,
3
Ham,
can't.
not
Witcher 3
Doom.
cannot.
Doom. Ham, not Doom. Doom Eternal. Not
Yes.
But the thing is,
original
Doom
with-
Eternal
I know.
can run. I can run Doom Eternal on my Steam Deck at like 110 FPS.
So
It's
Doom,
it's a-
It's like the most optimized game of all time.
it's
Yeah, so-
stupid optimized. It's stupidly optimized.
Damn
But it
them
looks
people.
so like graphically impressive.
it's because they
But-
make a good game. That if you put out a
Because
solid
they know
product,
how to create an engine. They created basically a perfect engine for Doom.
but Doom plays really well on the Switch. Surprisingly
Yes,
well.
it does.
It's surprisingly well. I was like, oh, because I had a Switch before anything else, so I was like,
I hear what Gogo
Playing Doom.
Pole is
I-
talking about because, as I said the other day, Loke, if they can get Ark
Yeah.
Survival Evolved to run on the Switch, they
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
get
Are we gonna have
they
one
can get
episode
Call of
without
Duty to run
bringing
on
up
there.
Ark?
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Alright.
like the intensity that is Ark being online the whole time. The world is massive. There is no load screens between going from one place to another. Like if you can get Ark to run on a Switch, Call of Duty shouldn't be as big of an issue.
It shouldn't.
some
could
devs
run
that
it.
are super
I mean,
talented at just
look-
basically
Look,
making
let's
their
just
games
try not
really
to
good.
get triggered by
Ark-
comparisons just because you
Ark-
dislike a game.
Ark is intense. Just settle down. All right, just settle down, please.
Cope, Loke. Just cope.
Mr. Jonah
He's trying
Johnson, Doom
hard.
Eternal just got ray tracing on the Steam Deck. Gogopo, yeah,
Yep.
they just need the MP to be good, not the SP. All right, cool. Anyway, that's enough with the news.
I hate you, Mr. Joanne Dark.
Yeah, he's just spitting facts. He's just spitting facts.
No, it's a dope game. That's why it's still
Let's get
it's
it.
still
let's
around.
Get into the game. Let's get it.
Vinny
Wait,
D,
so
let's go.
Because a game sticks around, it's a good game for real. Is that your theory?
Well, I mean, Babylon's Fall. Let's talk about it.
That's Loke's
Good
favorite
point.
game.
I mean, the
I
thing
mean,
is, I don't like.
Fall. I mean, Ark's been out for. I mean, it's going to be out 10 years, and
Yeah, I don't-
Babylon's Fall couldn't make it a year. So I mean,
Exactly.
You know what? Let me
so
trigger.
sure.
Let me trigger everyone here. RuneScape is. Yeah.
Shut up!
It's
You are
fact-
wrong.
the
You are
thing is, though, it's-
factually wrong.
yeah,
You
the
are
thing is, though, it's
factually wrong.
factually
You
not.
are factually wrong.
Yes.
Like I don't
Let
like
me-
RuneScape,
Mic drop
but
was cold.
it's not.
No.
Yes.
You don't know why RuneScape was great. RuneScape was like an RPG
Was.
where you were just
It
literally.
was.
It still is.
Was.
RuneScape still is.
Was. Cozy,
But
I'm with you.
it-
It was.
You could literally do just anything in RuneScape and just like run around. Like, for example, I was a miner in RuneScape. All I did was mine ore, smelt it, and then sell it to people. I had nice weapons because I would just be like, oh, I'll trade you like this for your weapon. So I never had to craft other stuff. I didn't have to work on my crafting skills. I would
Now
just.
look. Now Cozy's
All I did.
coping.
I thought she was just too
The
young to buy
whole
beer.
thing
What
was
are you talking about? Mining?
Yeah, Cozy was a
Whole
kid in
story-
RuneScape.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
not that.
I was a
that's- we're
kid.
not doing that, Cozy.
Yep.
I played
Come
that game for
on.
like 12 years straight.
I like what Innate said in the chat, Loke. Maybe you should check that out, bud.
Oh, what
I
is
wouldn't
it?
say It's always about talent.
The fact that
different
RuneScape
engines.
is still a thing
Cozy,
is
relax.
I'm just mad because he picked a wrong example. Pick an example of
No,
something
I
that
picked
isn't.
that one on purpose. All right. I
Just because you
wouldn't
don't
say
like
it's all-
something, you don't like games. You like
Oh my god.
Metal Gear. We know you don't like games.
That's true. He's not
You know,
a
it's
gamer.
really
He's a
easy. Cozy, you make it too
movie
easy.
enjoyer.
Innate says, I wouldn't say it's always about talent. Different engines and game scope have massively different requirements. Arc is a monster to run properly on PC. So not only is it a shit game, it's unoptimized. Okay, cool.
No,
Game
that's not what he is saying.
prediction.
But okay.
Let them
fight!
I thought Luke said comprehension was a problem in America, but I'm looking at Mozambique like, ooh.
It's Texas.
Texas, Mozambique, get it right. Come on.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. You're right.
Jesus.
I done told you 1,000 times. This is the 1,001st. All right. Anything regarding Arc, anything, bro. And I'm just gonna freaking skip Bayless it all the way. All right, all the way. Every time. That's what I'm.
Well, we all know Skip Bayless is
but-
usually wrong, so that's fine.
That's why I said it. Anything regarding Ark, right? Anything. You
Look,
show
you're
me
just
one
admitting being
positive thing
wrong. Why are you even arguing if you're already wrong?
regarding Ark.
No, you're
I'm
wrong.
going
You're
over
wrong.
there.
You're just wrong,
Regarding
and that's
Ark.
okay.
Loke, are you okay?
It's okay to be
Coping.
wrong, Lo.
More cope.
Because here's the
Don't-
thing. I'm with Loke. Honestly, I don't think Ark is very good. But I mean,
But
you're
you can
okay.
eat your poop.
You can't eat your poop.
Okay,
Loke.
so moving on. The Outer Worlds Space Choice Edition is coming out.
Outer
Facer's
Worlds.
choice. Facer's choice.
Outer Worlds. Let's
Acer's
go.
choice. Come on.
Not space
PS5,
choice.
PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Okay, so Darth Praxis, I'm assuming you're on Bullsitting for the first time, so I'm gonna explain how the game predictions work. I'll tell you a game that's coming out next week, and then you predict the Metacritic score, the
Oh.
critic score, because that's the one that is, professional, has no bias. Okay, I can't even say that with a straight face.
Sure.
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
so basically, I'll give you the game, the date, and then you tell me what you think the score is going to be. So Cozy, the Outer Worlds Spaces Choice Edition coming out March 7th, PS5, Series X, PC. What's the score? Cozy Beluga,
Your mic.
I think it'll get an 84.
84. I think that's incorrect. Ham Solo, what's the score for the
Uh-oh.
Outer
Ham's not
Worlds?
here.
Ooh.
Ham's
What?
disappeared.
No, I hear you. What's the Metacritic score for what?
The Outer Worlds, the next gen edition.
Oh, the
88.
next-gen edition.
Let's go.
There we go. That's better. That's better. Not this 84 that Cozy's predicting. Mad Likes Games, what's the score?
I'm going in between. Well, no. I'm gonna go one higher than Ham, just because fuck
There
Ham. I'm
we
going 89.
go. Right,
fuck,
there we
oh,
go.
Fuck you too, bud.
Darth,
Uh,
Darth, what's the score?
The Outer Worlds Spacer's choice. I give it an 88. I'll have to match him. I think it's going to
No.
be right around there.
No, you can't pick a score. That's
Okay,
someone
then
else's
92. How's 92? Does that sound good to you?
oh, this guy's the best. This guy's the best.
92.
I mean, I love it.
92.
I love the Outer World. I hope it gets an
It's
92.
phenomenal.
But damn.
Well, if it's a it's a
Damn, all right.
remaster, right?
It's a remaster.
Yeah,
They're improving
essentially,
AI. They're
yeah.
doing all sorts of stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Mr. Joanna Dark says 85. Got you, bruv. All right, next game we have Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, coming March 9th on all platforms. Cozy, what's the score?
Oh.
What? Hello?
All platforms are getting Fatal
Cozy
Frame.
cut- Yes, all platforms.
Oh.
Did your Nintendo did it just smirk? Did your Switch just smirk just now?
No, I don't play Fatal Frame. I don't play horror games.
Did you
but
see Mr. Joanna's for the last game? He said 85, and this one he's
Yeah.
saying 75.
85.
I'm going to say 77.
77 for Fatal Frame. All right.
I'm
Pretty
just
amazing.
Dragonheart
surprised.
Yogi says 92, but he's going to have to shift down to either 91 or 93.
Oh. Yeah,
92
yeah.
Fatal Frame.
No, he's talking
No,
about
Outer Worlds.
Outer
Worlds.
Worlds.
Oh.
He agreed with
Like
me.
the guys, no cap. That game, like, if it was a nominee for Game of the Year, it wouldn't be a problem, right? Can
What?
we agree on that?
What?
Outer
Outer Worlds.
Worlds.
No, I'd be
yes.
perfectly happy with that.
I think it also has two of the best DLCs of any game ever.
Yes, right up there.
Like, just so
Um,
good, just solidly.
And the writing in that thing, damn it. Ham Solo,
Characters and everything.
Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. What's the score?
79.
79. All right. Yobi says I don't have to shift down to anything.
I'll shift these nuts down your throat. Oh,
All right.
Ooh.
Wow.
Whoa.
Dragonheart Yobi
Calm
is
down.
eliminated.
That's insane.
Wow. He's checking out the beacon of destruction. Okay. Welcome HTK360. Howdy.
Hey.
Welcome. All right. Matt likes games. Fatal Frame, what's the score?
I'm
Damn,
looking at
you'll
a
be
bunch
out
of
here.
Metacritics for Fatal Frame. I'm gonna go 73.
Yeah, it does look pretty mid. Darth, what's the score for
Good. They're just
Fatal
not
Frame
visually.
Clips?
I'm looking at the trailer right now, just trying to get a gist for how it
Mm.
looks.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks it's nice. It looks really good, honestly. 83, 80. Did somebody say that already or no?
No.
Oh, no,
83. I'd say an 83.
That's the highest score. That's very positive.
Well, I'm looking at
is-
it. Actually
Yeah.
looks really good.
So they're solid games. It's just that they're not. They're niche. They're not like
Well-
super kind of like.
Well, yeah, but it does have a following.
Like it's just you in the 80 right now for this game. Everyone's in 79.
Someone's
or
got to
below.
do
You're
it.
the
Oh
only
well,
one in
I threw it up there. What am I gonna win something?
80. Quiz time, definitely.
Before we go to quiz
Uh,
time, I want to ask, because I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see what your guys' opinions are, if anybody has seen it. I know Matt has seen it for sure, but the Dead Island 2,
Ooh.
the Dead Island 2, what is it called? Trailer
gameplay?
was out, or like, yeah, the gameplay is out. I've yet to see it. I want
Watch it.
your guys'
It is
reaction
outrageous.
to that now.
It is outrageous. I
It's-
hate melee in first person games. What I saw has me excited. It looks
Mhm.
very nice.
I'm telling you, him. I went from, you know me. I went from I'm not interested in that at all. I could care less. I watched that gameplay trailer, and that is now. I probably got to pre-order that. I probably need to
And
pre-order it.
considering it's been delayed so many times, that's like red flags all over. But what we saw, dude,
It looked nuts.
in for a treat.
You got. I highly
nuts.
recommend watching that after the show. Highly
I'm
recommend.
gonna watch it
watching
right now.
I'm watching
Oh,
it
yeah.
right now.
And, dude, enjoy it, because it's
Oh god.
Sumptuous. That's
It's
the word that
phenomenal.
comes to mind. Sumptuous. Mm.
they got the
You can-
guns right. Dead Island and Dying Light both. The first Dying Light, Dead Island, when they did the guns, it was never good. They got the guns right in this
Jesus.
game.
The detail on the characters, the cops' uniform. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
Yes.
Oh, dude. Wow.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
the
kind of
lighting,
excited.
the light sourcing, the lighting, it's incredible.
hmm
Mm.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, that's something. You were asking
I
what we
like
would
the
think of
hype.
this one?
Yeah, I'm asking what you guys think of that. I've yet to watch it. I'm watching it right now.
This
you're
could
right
be
about the lighting.
something
That
in a
looks nice.
low 90s. This could be a low 90s, dude. This is crazy looking.
If it hits like
Yeah.
on all the part, like it looks
Oh,
visually
play-wise?
insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if it plays and it has depth and it looks like this, dude, this is a 90s game. Definitely. Good god.
He punched that dude in the face, and
Oh, dude, everything
his
coming
whole
apart the way it
fist
is
went into his
goes right
face.
through. It's incredible.
That's wild.
This is
I had
Yep.
zero. I still like. All right, so the percentages are going up, but I had
Yes.
zero hype for this game. In fact,
Yep.
I clowned on this game. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
clowned on this
Mm,
game
mm.
because I seen it and I was like, ain't nobody want no Lenny Kravitz. Like, I don't want to run around with Lenny Kravitz smoking cigarettes with a guitar. Like, I mean, it
Now I
just
do.
did not look interesting at all to me. But I'm gonna watch this whole 14 minutes. I'm probably not gonna do that right at this moment, but I'm gonna give it a chance to look at because hey, I've been wrong about games in the past. When I first played Death Stranding, I was like, F this walking simulator. This is stupid. I played it for like an hour and a half, did not like it, but I was also in the party, so that didn't help at all. Once I got outside of a party, or more or less got into a smaller party, it was just like me and Matt.
let
We were
the
both
game
playing the same game.
soak.
Yeah. I let
let
it
it soak.
shower. I let the Kojima shower over me. The greatness. The quality. But anyways,
Yeah, okay.
what? Anyways, I ended up playing it for a few hours, and Death Stranding ended up being one of the best games I played this generation. And I understand it's a last generation game, but with the whole director's cut and all that stuff, like for me, it was one of the best games I played so far this generation.
Yeah. And to that point, when you talk about just this generation and like it's a so-called old game, guys. One thing I love about our medium is that 5 years can go by, and if you play Dying Light in 2030, it's still a very good game.
You're right. Dying Light is a good game.
These things don't rot.
Skyrim.
You see I see too many. I think I follow too many fanboys, I guess, but I see too many people pretend like these things are edible donuts, and if you don't
Old
play them
games? Old games?
when they launch, I swear, Cozy.
Like,
I
you play
swear, I'm gonna
games
start
sometimes
tagging
and
you.
people criticize a game that's like a year or two old, and they're like, that's an old
Yeah.
game. Like, you're playing
That's
Pong or
silly.
something. You're just like, what? People
That's
still
silly.
play, if you
Yeah.
know, people still play old games. It's like a good game is a timeless experience. You know, if
Oh,
people didn't
man.
play old games, think about it. People still playing GTA, Red Dead Redemption, Skyrim.
Yes.
You know, games that are just
Fallout. No,
Fallout.
sorry, technically Fortnite. Technically Fortnite is ancient.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Can-
Let's go to the chat.
can I
because-
say something?
Grand Theft Auto is ancient too.
Can I say
Yes.
something real quick? I
Grand Theft
saw.
Auto is generations old at this point.
Oh yeah, in
2013.
3 generations.
Three
so far.
generation game. Jesus.
I see on Twitter, Idle Sloth posted an Xbox Series S toaster will be on sale soon. So if you need a toaster and you like Xbox, then you've got yourself an Xbox Series S toaster right there.
Oh my god.
800
Uh,
watts,
I'm gonna have
3
an entire
modes.
kitchen by the
No.
end of this generation.
I mean, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Just saying.
For your mini fridge.
Just no. Okay, you know what? Let's keep it moving because we're getting off topic. Lastly, we have Monster. What's it? Monster Energy Supercross 6. We should have stopped at 5. Coming out March 9th on all platforms except Nintendo Switch. Okay, take that back. If it's not on the Switch, it's a good game. It's
Oh
coming
my
out on all
God.
platforms except Nintendo Switch. Cozy, what's the
You
score?
hear that,
for
Mr.
Monster
Joanna
Energy
Dark?
Supercross 6?
Gamer. Oh,
What?
what?
Hold on.
What game are
It's
we
okay.
talking about?
Monster Energy Supercross 6.
What is Monster Energy Supercross?
It's a supercross game. It's a bike game, a dirt bike
Yeah,
game.
a motor.
Yeah.
a motor-
Supercross.
I'm gonna go with 81.
Oh,
81.
that's
high.
optimistic. That's optimistic.
Very.
I
don't even know what it
That is like,
I like it.
that's beyond generous.
It was better than. I feel
but-
bad when I get it right when I say no one's going to review it.
Well, the
That
thing
makes
is,
me.
you
That
might be
hurts my
right.
spirit even more.
Is that new?
Because I feel like no one will review it, but I don't want to put that out in the air because I feel bad
I'm-
when it's like, you know, it's more insulting I think to get like no one review your game than to have a bad review.
I mean, the last one, it looks like released in 2018 and got 8 critic reviews, and it's sitting at 69. So you're probably right.
Who's the developer for this?
I don't
That's
think
a good
anyone's going to
question.
review it. I think it's just going to come and go like a wet
Okay.
fart.
Milestone SRI, is that the review?
As-
All right, guys. Focus.
Cassie
Look at
Cage
me.
says.
Focus.
Yes.
Am Solo, what's the score?
I'm gonna give it a 70, just a flat 70.
You should go with no
Very
review.
flat.
Someone.
Matt, before you jump in here, we
Yep.
have to acknowledge a amazing comment in the chat. Mr.
Uh-oh.
Jonah Duck says Death Stranding is amazing. Kojima is the GOAT. GOAT Jima. I still play Metal Gear Solid Acid 1 and 2. Babble on my game. Yes.
Well, he's 1 for 4 there.
Keep reading. Keep reading, Lo. Keep reading. Keep reading.
That game is a failure if not coming out on leading console, the Switch. Whatever. Matt likes
Excite
Monster
Bike is
Energy
better.
score.
This game, I'll tell you, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 6, is going to score a 60. No, wait, Joanna Dark in the chat said 60. I'm going 55.
Go with no review.
I'm going
55.
55.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Yeah, this is getting a 55.
Mad. That's
That-
kind of toxic. And I like it.
You
Darth,
went
what's
to the
the score?
games that shall not be named numbers.
Damn, 55.
Well,
I gotta watch a trailer for this.
I'm
United
watching
is looking
gameplay
like
right
wow.
now. I'm watching gameplay right now. They're struggling to keep it at 30 frames per second.
That looks
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's
And-
great to hear.
And it's got a lot of aliasing. So it's an old engine that they're making this run on.
Nice.
And it looks like they're doing some upgrading, trying to make it work. The controls look all right, but it looks 56. This is not looking good.
Wow.
I don't know who
Wow.
did it. It's an attempt.
Yeah.
It's an attempt, but for a modern game that's a racing game, I mean, no offense, but dude, this is bad. It shouldn't
Yeah,
look like this.
Wow.
It looks generations old. This looks like a 360 game.
like this looks better than slightly than MX versus ATV Unleashed that I have on my Series X, which is an original Xbox game. The physics on the shirt, how it moves when he's.
Oh yeah, that's
that's
something.
great.
That's something.
That's great.
There you go.
But in general, this doesn't look much better than that.
Yeah.
That's not good. I think I'm safe at 55. I feel safe there.
Damn.
All
Yeah,
the
it's
density
56.
is in the monster drink.
Pretty much. All right. So game results for last week: Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Matt Likes Games hit it like perfectly. He said
Yeah.
82, and that is the actual score. Destiny 2 Lightfall. No one has reviewed it yet, so Matt Likes Games gets the second dub for games predictions this
I
year.
mean, I'm just always winning this. Always winning this.
Matt,
Constantly.
the liquor of
Alright.
games. He licks them so he
Constantly
knows
winning
Nice.
this.
he can tell
This
the
and
taste
quiz
of
time.
their.
I've got like 20 wins on this show. All right, let's
It's
go.
the only
Let's-
wins you ever
let's-
get.
Just keep one look. Come on.
No.
Let's
Matt,
go.
I
Come
have to
on.
correct
Let's get to quiz time so I can win
Time.
again. Come on.
No. Quiz time. You have one win. Cozy has one.
I have
Classic
multiple.
Cage has one.
Too many
Ham
wins.
Solo is solo. Anyway,
No, I have
notable tweets. Notable tweets. Yes, you do have one.
Well,
Notable
the disrespect.
So, Darth, what we do with notable tweets is I'll pick out a specific tweet and you can react to it whichever way you want. You can say something positive, negative, or you could just nope out of it if it's too hot for you to handle, which is fine. So first off, this is for Darth. Darth at VG247 said, with Baldur's Gate 3 heading to PS5, could it be a bigger deal than
Oh.
Starfield?
I read that today.
Oh, I saw it too.
That's something.
That's some hard cope. I
That's a
mean,
take.
that is a take. That is really special to compare
Wow.
Baldur's Gate to Starfield. Yeah, that.
Anything Bethesda.
Well, yeah. I think that's to be kind. That's a tiny stretch trying to make that comparison and to say that that's going to have more impact or be as big. I mean, it might be a big game. I could be wrong. But Baldur's Gate, there's a big following. It's much like I played the old one long time ago on PC and I liked it, and there's a huge amount of people that still follow that game. But I don't know. Broad appeal? No, it doesn't have the same broad appeal in my opinion.
They
You're
can
gonna get more
re-release
people-
Skyrim right now, and that'd probably outdo Baldur's Gate.
It probably would.
Yeah. Almost
Skyrim
certainly
remastered again.
Remastered again. And here's the thing: if they do that, I'll
For the first
get it
time,
again.
for the last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Cozy. At Reality Pale said, sorry, but when Xbox P3, Phil Spencer, for those who are not in the know, when Phil Spencer acquires Bethesda and then immediately makes Redfall and Starfield console exclusives, then yes, you are literally pulling something away from the PlayStation community by definition. Cozy, what's your take?
Oh, I wish I had that one.
They were announced and put on the because you can't pull something that wasn't fair. That's like getting upset that, no one had. It's like, what? That's not how that works. That's not how that works. This is not how that works. Like, you. How. Oh, it's a literacy.
She's blown away right
Contractually
It's
speaking,
good.
you're saying.
now.
No, they didn't pull anything away contractually. They didn't pull anything away. You
Yeah,
could be
that's what I
like,
mean,
oh yeah, well, we know it was going to release on there. Yeah, I mean, we could theorize, yeah, they were going to be on those
assume.
platforms. But that just makes an ass out of you if you assume, because they didn't state that. I mean, and even though yes, we can assume, and I safely assume that yeah, they would have been. They still weren't pulled away. They weren't ever available there. If something isn't available in something, it can't be taken away.
Yeah. You know
If
what was
anyone
pulled
knows who
away?
reality, okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was pulled away is Stellar Blade. Again, I'll say
God.
that.
Okay, stop. Just stop.
Just
If
just
anyone
saying.
knows who
saying.
Reality Pales is, go and tell him or her to come and
I'm
watch
look
this
it-
video
I'm
and
gonna
be
look 'em up.
proud. All right? It
No.
might be idiots, right?
The person
Reality
I
Tales
assume
might
probably
be
got
idiots.
attacked a lot anyway, so
Hold on.
let's not pile on.
Reality Pales might be an idiot, but Reality Pales
It's
achieved
also
something
dumb.
that no one has ever done. All right?
Oh.
Reality Pales got Cozy to be like, what the fuck, and be speechless. So that in itself, all right? That level of stupid, just mwah. Matt,
Yeah.
Oh, you,
Matt,
Yep.
X1931 said, you moral busybodies are canceling the term JRPG now. Seriously, find something in your life that gives it meaning. I guarantee it will make you feel better than these crusades.
Why are we canceling JRPG? Can I ask that?
I
you
can
cancel
answer that.
Japanese?
I
Yeah.
can answer that because
Go ahead.
I actually read an article not that long ago that was saying that in Japan they very loosely use the term JRPG. Some people feel like it's offensive for the fact that it's overused for Japanese games, which I could probably agree with. It probably is overused. Like, not everything is a freaking JRPG just because it came out of Japan. But that's kind of where the whole I believe Skill Up had like an interview with Yoshida or something like that, and he asked him about the JRPG, and that's when he pretty much stopped him and said, we don't consider them JRPGs and stuff like that because
I would certainly agree with that. I feel like I often see the term JRPG for a game that I don't see to be an RPG. It's a Japanese game, but is it an RPG? I've seen that often. And what's this guy saying about this again?
Saying it's offensive
Again,
somehow. Oh, he was upset that people are offended by it, right?
He's upset that people are.
He said, you moral busybodies are canceling the term JRPG now. Seriously, find something in your life that gives it meaning. I guarantee it'll make you feel better than these crusades.
I
He's
don't
not
know
referring
why.
to the Japanese people. He's referring
Yeah.
to the people in the West
People were.
that are offended
Yeah.
about the
See,
use of JRPG.
if you're offended by other people being offended, then I don't know where that stops. But this seems like, yeah, I get where these other people are coming from, and that, like, yeah, it probably shouldn't be used as much as it is. Doesn't make sense. But if you're offended by someone being offended by that, then that's kind of silly. I don't know.
that
me.
turns into a your problem kind of thing.
Yeah, that's on you. That's on you. That's not on other people. That's
I would have to
silly.
say just my perspective on this, knowing JRPGs have existed since I was a kid in the Super Nintendo era, all the way up. Anything that was basically created that was an RPG eventually became a JRPG, and the reason you use the term is because Western RPGs and JRPGs are different. They aren't the same. They don't feel the same. And it's like calling something an anime versus a cartoon.
Mhm.
So you're going to have a differentiation and a designation. Now, if they want to designate it differently, great, or they just want to call it RPGs, I understand that too, but we designate it that way because there is a difference between them. You can feel the difference. Destiny is an RPG. Is it a JRPG? Are they the same? No, not at all. So that's why there's a designation. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, maybe it's something that I don't understand why it would be offensive. They're just saying that's what the normal Japanese RPGs are like. They're like that. And they are. They're quirky, they're funny, they're way different than a lot of the things that people are used to. So, in the West per se. But just saying, that's my devil's advocate.
Okay. Well,
All right, fair point. Ham Solo, X Nogueira XPT was replying to a fanboy, specifically a PlayStation one, saying he's trying to platinum Twitter. It's a full-time job, no time to play or even finish games. Thoughts?
He's trying to platinum Twitter?
Yes.
First of all, what does that even mean?
What?
I mean, this
Okay,
whole
so
tweet,
fanboy-
I'm going to go on
Well,
ahead and use the skip because
Fanboy-
it just doesn't make any sense.
All right, cool. But fanboy was exposed for having like low gamer score, or I guess it would
they
be
checked his
trophy
gaming
count.
credentials.
Uh,
Oh,
Oh
no.
my God.
Yes, and
It's
he has
tragic.
like 15. He has like 15 trophies total, and they were like, "Dude does not play games."
How do you have
Anyway,
15 trophies
okay,
total? That
Ham.
means you just like
I
turn the
mean-
console on.
Oh,
I mean, that's actually abysmally
So-
low. Like, I know some people, their score is going to be low depending on what they play, but I'm like, even
Yeah.
if your score is low because you play a lot of like MP games and stuff like that, it's still not going to be like that abysmally low.
15.
You can get
I
like
don't know, I
15
think I have,
trophies
like-
just turning on Astrobot on your PlayStation. I mean,
I think
But
I have
you-
like 25 total. I don't know.
Trophies.
Maybe
So
I'm-
like I don't believe that, Loke. I don't believe that because the there's like 4 or 5 different kinds of trophies. There's the platinum, gold, silver, and bronze trophies.
I guess.
So
Okay,
to only have
I'm guessing there's
15,
like the rare trophies.
You have to do literally the least. You're not even playing games. You're not even trying
Yeah.
to play anything. You can
You
play
turn-
like even
No,
if
go
you
ahead.
play one game, one multiplayer game. For example, I play, a lot of Overwatch. You know how hard it is to not get any trophies at all, even 15, just playing that game?
nah.
Is it
Takes
very
talent
difficult?
to not.
It takes
Dedication.
yes. You have to be trying to not get trophies in that game.
You have to look at what it takes to get them and avoid that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do the opposite.
I've got 18 trophies just in Deathloop. I mean, and I haven't even
God
beat the game
damn.
on PlayStation yet. So that's just, I mean,
Yeah.
play your game.
Okay, so
I
real
guess.
quick before we get into quiz time, I know we're tight on time. Real quick,
Oh.
Oh my
Darth,
God.
what do you prefer between trophies and achievements?
Pass. No. I could care less. As far as I've had an Xbox account for 16 years, and I have a pretty low gamer score, and it's like it's kind of like what Cozy's talking about. I play games where you grind a ton, like
Mhm.
Destiny 1 and 2. Between Destiny 1 and 2, I have 2,500 hours in those games,
Yeah.
Darth,
then-
real quick, bruv. Real
and then
Which one is more
Yeah.
aesthetically pleasing to your eyes? That's all I'm asking.
I don't care. It's
Good. Pick one.
achievements just because of how they appear. Trophies, I could give a damn.
All right.
I
There you
agree
go.
with that.
Cozy, trophies or achievements?
Oof. Same thing where I'm not a. I guess I will go with achievements specifically because of Microsoft Rewards points, and that diamond chime noise is really,
Yes.
really
Yeah.
satisfying.
Best part. There you go.
I
Like
was
I
gonna
don't
say
even have I turn pop-ups off, but they're still on my computer. So like when I get the diamond one, it'll be like, and make that beautiful noise. I'm like, I don't know why that noise is so satisfying.
I agree with that. I was gonna
Re-
bring that up.
Okay.
I was gonna bring that up.
I'm skipping you, Matt. I'm skipping you. You done answered this question 3 times already. I haven't even gotten to you.
What?
I'm
What?
so-
You
Solo-
can't. You know
Ask my
what?
question. Ask my
Oh.
question.
Trophies.
It's a question he asked us.
dude.
You just
Yeah, come on.
This guy, The whole time it just keeps saying achievements, achievements. Dude, we
Achievements.
get it.
Achievements.
Ham Solo.
No, I
achievements
want to
or
know
trophies.
why. The crowd wants to know why. We demand to know why.
Because he's already scored the basket.
No,
Ham
no,
Solo.
no. We want to
Why
know
do
what
you-
about his
trophies.
opinions on achievements.
Why do you prefer achievements, Luke? Why do you prefer achievements, Luke?
How do you know that I prefer achievements?
It's an assumption.
I'm just assuming. But why do you prefer achievements?
He is thrown right now. He is thrown.
He's going to assume
He's
because
confused.
he
He's befuddled.
wants to
He
make an
doesn't-
ass out of you and me. There we go.
You know what? I'll just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Achievements sound better.
That's what I was gonna say.
And
That's
the
all.
way they're collated makes more sense. You know, having a total gamer score is simpler, and they say simplicity is classy forever. You know, fashion
Yes.
in fashion. So when you look at someone's gamer score, it's 225,000, and that's it. When you look at someone's trophy score, it's what Ham just talked about. I said 15. Bro, you need to check which is it gold? Is it silver? Is it platinum? Is it bronze? And then what does collating all three, is it no, four or all five sub trophies together mean? I ain't got time to do all of that. It's nice to just look at Matt likes games, 2 million gamer score. Keep it moving.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh,
That's why, for
I
me,
appreciate that.
achievements.
damn, that's sexy.
Achievements are better by like miles. All right, like the trophy system can't even see achievements. They can't even see. They can't even smell their dust. That's how far achievements are better, in my opinion. Ham Solo, achievements or trophies?
I'm gonna say achievements, but with one kind of caveat, kind of. So I think achievements getting like having the two different sounds, one with the diamond and one that's just kind of your basic achievement kind of thing, is pretty cool. The one thing that I got to kind of take away from it is like I really wished once you completed like 100% of the game that there was a specific difference.
Yes.
Because like it is like the one thing that I do like about the trophy system within Sony is like that platinum. I think that platinum is it's just kind of attractive a little bit. It's nice to say I have this achievement that says, you know, that literally is the only achievement it is I got all the achievements done. But it's pretty cool. It's kind of cool. But
Right.
other than that, literally everything about the way the Xbox allocates the achievements to me is better. I like the percentage on it. I don't like how Sony has all these different type of trophies, although I do understand some are greater than others, sure. But I like the way Xbox went about making sure that, hey, if you got something that's rare or hard, well, you get this special sound, you know, this special type of achievement. So Xbox almost has everything nailed down pack. I just wish they had like a you got it all kind of, maybe instead of the diamond sound, you get something just a little bit more out there. And maybe instead of a diamond, you get some sort of like, I don't know, whatever. Sapphire. I don't know.
All right.
It's just
All right,
the
Phil
diamond
Spencer,
sound
Phil
bass
Spencer,
boosted.
Don't listen to Ham Solo. Phil Spencer.
$5
Just
bill
blows
coming
out
out
your
of your
speakers anytime you 100% a game.
$5 bill pops out of your disk drive. You're like, oh hey,
Oh
hey,
my
I
There you
like
go.
that achievement. I want to get that one again.
When you 100% a
I
game,
might
you
just
get
check myself.
1,000 Microsoft
I
points.
might.
That would be insane.
That's actually a
might-
good
that'd be
idea.
crazy.
That's a great idea, honestly.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
all right, let's get
on a
to it.
certain difficulty, that'd be incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Time for the quiz. So, Darth, what I do is in this section, I will make a statement, and then I will say true or false, and then you pick whether it's true or false. Simple enough for you?
Yeah, sure. I hate quizzes. Go
All
ahead.
right. Yeah. Well,
I hate this
here
one.
we go.
You can...
Darth.
It's us against Luke.
Forza,
Well, okay, go ahead.
it's really not.
It is.
Forza Horizon's latest DLC is rally focused. True or false?
The one coming out, yes, true.
Correct. Cozy Beluga. The Sierra Car 1980 Subaru Brat GL is one of the cars in the latest DLC. True or false?
Mike?
True.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
See, this is easy. Mad Likes Games.
Yep.
Forza Horizon
That's a
5
failure.
Rally Adventures releases on March 31st. True or false?
I'm probably wrong. I'm gonna say true just because I hope that's true, because that'd be dope.
It's false.
Okay.
Damn it!
Coming out March 29th.
Oh, that's even better.
See, look.
Fantastic.
See, look.
I'm happy to be
Kind of-
wrong here.
That's the kind of trickery he
Yeah.
does. That's the kind of trickery he gives you. Like
Very
a
happy
date
to be
slightly
wrong.
off.
Ham Solo. This past week, Microsoft expanded PC Game Pass to 14 new countries. True or false?
To how many?
40.
40 or 14?
40.
False. It's over 40.
Correct.
Oh, look, he's so
See?
disappointed.
How disappointed he
He's
sounded.
disappointed.
That's the snakery
Oh,
he
God.
does. That's why this game is really us against Loke, because we
God.
all know he's setting us up for failure. That's his favorite thing to do, is set you up for failure.
He's upset.
Christ, Cozy, would you let me say?
No,
Darth.
I'm calling you out.
Yes,
we
sir.
all
Yes, sir.
know. The audience even knows. You set us up for failure.
Listen.
Game Pass launched in 2018. True or false?
I remember correctly. I don't know. I didn't line up and get it right away, but I'll say true.
False is 2017.
Ah.
Cozy. Qatar,
Yes.
Libya, and Tunisia are among the countries added to PC Game Pass. True or false?
I'm just gonna go true.
Correct. Matt likes games. Microsoft announced that its Xbox Game Pass family plan expanded to 8 more countries. True or false?
False?
Yeah, I haven't heard a damn thing about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard
Correct.
anything.
Correct. It's 6. It's 6 more countries. Ham Solo. The Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family Plan has now expanded to Chile, Hungary, Israel, New Zealand, South Africa, and Croatia. True or false?
True.
False. Instead of Croatia, it's Sweden. Darth.
Mhm.
Friends and Family the Xbox Friends and Family subscription tier launched in September 2022. True or false? And you just said you don't know about it. Go ahead.
No, well, I know about that. Well, I think it's true because, and it was Ireland and Brazil, I think.
Correct. It wasn't Ireland, Brazil. It was Ireland.
Wait, did you
and
say
Colombia.
it's not in
Very weird.
Croatia?
Yes. No. I'm saying the countries that recently launched the extra 6 was Chile, Hungary, Israel, New Zealand, South Africa, and Sweden. That's what recently launched.
Oh, okay. I misheard the question then.
Mhm.
All right, Cozy.
Not
The
that it was
latest
designed like that
PlayStation
or
3
anything, you know.
Yeah.
God. Cozy. The latest Beluga. The latest PlayStation 3 update is 4.91. True or
Wow.
false? They're still updating that thing.
Jeez.
Say it
True.
again, Cozy.
False.
Correct. It's 4.90. Cozy
See?
is betting 1,000.
I'm randomly guessing these. I am randomly guessing these because I know
Matt-
you're just setting up for
Matt
failure.
likes games.
Just-
Matt likes games.
Okay,
Update.
Matt.
Matt, update
Yep.
4.89 for the PS3 added a new password requirement to PlayStation Network, as well as remove the ability to create a new account on the PS3. True or false?
I'm gonna say true because that's hilarious.
Correct. Correct. That's what they did. They stopped you. They stopped you making a new account. That's what they did.
Man, I'm afraid
There's
to boot
too
up my
many on the
PS3.
PS3. Y'all need to get off the PS3. That's what they're trying to say. Ham Solo.
If there were games that weren't locked behind the PS3 forever,
Right? How about some backwards
you.
compatibility?
Thank you. Thank you. Someone called Jim. Anyway, Ham Solo. The 4.90 update will require 200 megabytes of free space on either the PS3 hard drive or on removable storage media. True or false?
True.
Correct.
I just thought that sounded
Yeah, okay.
insane, so I went just like Matt. I was just like, this sounds dumb. That has
Yo,
to be true.
Who you guys? Who you guys? So what? Anytime I say Sony's doing a crazy thing,
Something
then it's
stupid.
true.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
no. It's not anytime you say Sony's
For
doing
me, yeah.
something. It's anytime you're saying Sony is like making something more difficult.
Worse. Yeah.
Inconvenient.
Then I believe it.
Especially if it's
You know
if
what?
it's something before
I'll
the
see you next
PS5.
Friday.
yeah, I
That's
know,
all.
right? Looks like all right. I see what you guys are doing. I'm
if
right.
you
My
have a
question's different.
360, if you have a 360 still and you use an Xbox One, I still use my 360 for Dance Central, but it is a headache if you have two-factor authentication, because sometimes it just like
Oh yeah.
requires you to you have to go to like the website, get a long string of like verification sometimes, and then go
I've had to do
back
that
to your.
multiple
Yeah,
times.
you see?
It's annoying.
Okay, so
Mhm.
Xbox is also inconvenient. There you go. Darth,
But
Guilty
they're not
Gear
removing
Hive.
functionality.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Darth, Guilty Gear Hive and Infinite Guitars will be coming to Game Pass this month. So it's two games: Guilty Gear Hive and Infinite Guitars will be coming to Game Pass this month. True or false?
Yeah, it's probably true.
It's false. It's Guilty
Ah.
Gear Strive. Cozy.
Oh, see,
Square Enix.
She's fucking losing it. She is
Dude,
fucking
I said
losing
Hive.
it.
I did specifically say Hive like 3
It's probably
times.
good
Dude,
that she's muted right now because she has lost it.
You
Yeah,
know,
you should
no.
unmute
I knew you
yourself
said
first.
Hive. I heard Hive, but if someone's not familiar with some series, they're not gonna know the difference between Guilty Gear Strive and Guilty Gear Hive. And so that was, oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ.
Ah,
Oh my god.
Titties. Half titties. Cozy.
Cozy would kill
This
you
is
right
for
now
you
if she
to
could.
continue. This is for you to continue to bet 1,000, because so far you're perfect. Square Enix president Tanaka Harada is stepping down from his position this year. True or false?
True. I don't know if that's his name.
False. It's Yosuke Matsuda who's
See?
stepping
See?
I
See?
mean, you got it right.
See?
You got it
I'm
right.
telling you, this is all
Oh
of
my
us
God.
against Loke. That's what I'm telling you. I wasn't making that up. I wasn't
No,
you got
like
it.
Cozy,
exaggerating.
Cozy. Wait, Darth, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is the statement true or false that Square Enix president Tanaka Harada is stepping down from his position this year? Is that statement true?
No.
Nobody knows the president's name.
Thank
It's
you.
not true, but it's also the statement that
next
Loke is a
game.
snake is true.
I will say this.
Dude, I'm a
that
Slytherin. What do you
if-
expect from me? I'm a Slytherin. What else do you expect from me?
if you see me
What are we
look
doing
confident, if you see me look confident about my answers, you're going to see this. True. My screen's going to change because I'm
Alright.
looking it up. There you go.
All right, Matt likes games.
Yep.
Matt, Yosuke has been the Square Enix president since 2013. True or false?
I mean, true.
Correct.
Actually, false. Yeah, okay. Yeah, true.
Uh,
True.
He'll
True.
take the first
Whoa,
answer.
It's true.
Whoa.
It's true.
No,
It's true.
no.
It's true.
These both
It's true.
answers.
Hey, don't worry about that, Luke. Don't worry about that, Luke. Don't worry about that, Luke.
You know what?
Don't even-
No,
You don't gotta worry about that.
no.
You don't
You
gotta worry
already
about
said
that.
Listen, new rules.
already said correct.
Let me finish.
No,
Already
but
dropped
but
the
Luke,
guys.
you
Already
Luke,
dropped
you
the
never let
rule.
me. You never let me change
No,
my
no,
answer
no.
when
Yes,
I'm
yes,
wrong.
no,
His card was
I just said
already
a
on the
That is
table.
true.
He put it down.
Let me
He can't
finish.
pick it
Yeah,
back up. It's
Let
already
me
done.
finish.
Yes.
It's already
Guys, let
done.
me finish.
No,
Let me
that was
finish.
true.
No rule.
He gets that.
No
He
rule.
gets that
I would
point.
love to hear
First
He gets
Joseph's
answer.
that
I
point.
gave him the point. I already
Okay.
gave him settle.
Yeah.
Cozy, keep your undies on. Guys,
You know what?
no
I'm gonna
rule.
slap you.
The first answer
I like
is
it.
the answer I'm going with
I like it.
for starting today, forever. All right. The
I like
first
that.
answer, that's the one. Ham Solo.
Ugh.
Capcom has announced a spotlight at 2:30 p.m.
I didn't get that whole
PST.
question. Texas
No
kicked
problem.
in.
That Texas internet.
Capcom has announced a spotlight event scheduled for March 9th at 2:30 p.m. PST.
False.
True or false? It's true.
I just guessed because I just fucking spilled some shit all over the place. I don't
Darn.
even know what the question was. Go ahead.
Darn.
Just
I
continue.
don't care. Yeah.
All right. Darth, the
Yes, sir.
Capcom Spotlight event will be a
Mm-hmm.
26-minute global digital live stream. True or false?
That sounds like a Capcom thing. True.
Correct. Darth has drawn level with Cozy, Metlikes Games, and Ham Solo. So in the last round, Cozy could take the lead with the next one. But let's see if Ham can catch up. Let's see if we can have like a four-way
Ham the
tie here.
man. Get it.
Ham Solo, according to 343 Industries, Halo Infinite's Forge beta has passed 1 million creations as of January 2nd, 2023.
False.
True or false? It's true.
Okay.
Cozy.
Yeah, I had no idea about any of those fucking numbers,
is
so
for-
whatever.
This is for the potential dub.
You
Cozy,
neither.
this is for the
I'm
potential
gonna get it
dub.
wrong, and I don't care.
The event,
I'm mad at you.
the Capcom,
Okay.
the Capcom, the Capcom Spotlight, right? The event will
Mhm.
focus on the following games: Resident Evil 4,
Nailed
Mega
it.
Man Championship Collection, Monster Hunter Rise Iron Horde, Ghost Trick Phantom Hand, and Inner Primal. True or false?
False.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
You said
I mean,
Inno Primal. I heard that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes,
It's not.
yes.
There's no game
Yeah.
called Inno Primal.
Also, there's no Monster Hunter Ironhide.
I
Yeah.
know
Ghost
that.
Trick Phantom Hand.
Shut up! Don't even talk about Ghost Trick because you're not even capable of handling that glorious game.
Yeah, sure, whatever, Cozy. Matt likes games.
Yep.
If you don't get this right, Cozy gets the dub, and then she gets
Okay.
to pick
Get it
someone
right,
in the
Matt.
chat. Then she gets to pick someone in the chat to send whatever gift we have for them, the $10 voucher. Matt likes games. Capcom claimed to have sold 19 million games during the April to December 2022 period. True or false?
80 million?
No, 19.
I thought you just said 80
Capcom
million.
claimed to
Yep.
have sold 19 million games during the April to December 2022 period. True or false?
April to December?
That doesn't seem right. I'm gonna say false.
It's false. Not
Yeah,
because
so,
it's less.
you're
They
botting,
sold
Luke.
29. You-
I don't know what Luke said. I don't know if I got that right.
You got it right. Is it still
Yeah, he said-
botting?
Okay.
He
All
said correct.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're still botting.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Is
botting
it
in and out.
botting?
2400
Still?
pod.
Can you- Anything? No?
Cutting in
It's
and
a-
out. Like
It's a little, yeah, fluttery.
robotic.
What the fuck?
Dolphin on crack.
Yeah, dolphin.
It's texting,
Like
guys.
Cocaine Bear.
It's texting.
Yes.
I swear.
Cocaine
it's
bear.
texting.
Tennessee's. I can't say that.
That's more growling and like biting and scratching. That's not quite the same. It's a little different. Cocaine bears.
All right, it's good now. Look.
You're all good,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like perfect.
All right.
I got it right.
All right. So Yeah,
Fucking
I was
Texas.
saying you got it right.
Yep.
Not because Matt, I was saying you got it right, not because it's less, it's actually more. They sold 29 million.
Wow.
He's
Impressive.
still
Lord.
Yes.
it's like a snake. You're
They're
a
making
snake.
bang.
Not a good kind of
Impressive.
snake.
All right, so Ham, I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick. To find a winner, because we've had too many draws, to find a winner for the quiz, let's check out a quick poll while I do the last point, and then we'll do the outros. Is that cool?
That's really vague. Hey, do a poll. What the hell are you talking about? Do a
No,
poll for
just
what?
put like Cozy. Hold on. Hold on. It's Matt. It's Matt versus Cozy. They both ended on 4. So just put Matt and Cozy, and then people can pick whoever they want to win. And then that person gets to pick whoever gets the $10 voucher. Anyway,
You better not pick me.
Ham, while you put up the poll, let me do my last point rant. It'll be quick today. I'm not going to trigger anyone. Very PC. So here goes. I personally don't care about the JRPG term. It should not come as a surprise considering I'm not Japanese or a developer of games. But after reading the feelings of the Final Fantasy 16 lead, I feel compelled to throw my highly inflated 2 cents into the discussion. I don't get it. Honestly, I don't. They are called JRPGs because they are RPGs made in Japan with a distinctly Japanese flavor. What are we supposed to call them? Eastern RPGs? Okay, but no other country in the East produces as many RPGs on an almost annual rate. Would Japanese devs feel slighted if the entire continent was credited for a genre that is essentially Japan sustained? I can see it already. Westerners are bigots because they don't credit Japan specifically. There is a music genre called house music. There is a specific South African style for said genre. So the world has taken to calling it South African house music. I lived in South Africa for over 6 years and never met one citizen of Mzansi that hated the SA house moniker. Next thing, it'll be offensive to call me an African or say that Cozy wants to put fishing in every video game in existence. This empty kerfuffle is a reflection of a society that finds fault in calling things what they are, regardless of how nonsensical the incurred offense is. At some point, the Puritans will figure out that if language is ever fluid, if everything means nothing and nothing means everything, then even the most basic interaction will become akin to launching a nuclear weapon. Imagine. Did you say good morning to me? You bigot. How dare you nod your head at me? You racist. 2 examples of the lunacy that awaits us. Thank you for listening.